Promotional consideration for today's game is brought to you by Throwback Cuts, Fades, Razor Lines, Colored Designs, Straight Razor Shave. The latest styles are what we do. Sweet Tea Cafe. Dine in and ask about our daily specials or call ahead for catering and carryout 501-943-7700. Williams Tire. We take pride in offering name brand tires, wheels, and auto repair service to our customers. Papa John's Pizza. Receive 30% off your order during this broadcast. Use the promo code FIDELITY.
Senior maid, Maddie Moritz. Senior maid, Abby Walker. Abby is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Carl Walker. She is being escorted by her father, Mr. Carl Walker. At Benton High School, Abby is a member of the Benton High School Pep Steppers, the Key Club, and the Lady Panthers soccer team. She is also a member of the First Baptist Church and is an active member of the youth group. Senior maid, Abby Walker. And now, would you please stand as we honor the 2016 Benton High School Homecoming Queen, Alexia Vanucci. Alexia is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Dio Vanucci. She is being escorted by her father, Mr. Dio Vanucci. At Benton High School, Alexia is co-captain of the Benton High School cheerleading squad, a member of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, BHS Serve, and Student Council. Alexia attends First Baptist Church as an active member of the youth group. Alexia will now be presented with the traditional robe by her mother, Mrs. Carrie Vanucci. Alexia will now be crowned by her father, Mr. Dio Vanucci. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2016 Benton High School Homecoming Court, and the Queen, Alexia Vanucci.
All right, welcome in on Fox Sports Arkansas, 690 AM and 93.7 FM. We have just finished tonight's homecoming festivities here at Benton High School. Alexia Vanucci crowned queen of the 2016 homecoming festivities. The senior maids were Lila Buchanan, Haley Hart, Bree Hunter, Maddie Moritz, and Abby Walker. Junior maids Anna Grace Davis and Lacey Jumper, and the sophomore maids Julia Dick and Abby Penn. It's been a beautiful start to homecoming, and we hope it just continues as the Benton Panthers tonight host the Siloam Springs Panthers in a 6A West Conference matchup. All of my buddies are down on the field. John Penn with his daughter, Dio Vanucci with his daughter. Tony Linehan will be in momentarily to handle stats for us tonight, and Matt Johnson is producing and directing our broadcast. And as always, the anchor of our broadcast team, the #1 fan of the Benton Panthers, Freddie Reinhardt. We're going to step aside for our first commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have the weekly visit with Brad Harris. This is Benton Panther Football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
At Midstate Transmission, we're more than just your everyday repair shop. We're an affordable, caring, and customer-focused business. We've been treating our customers like family for over 8 years. We're the experts in transmission repair and offer the best warranty in town. Here at Midstate Transmission and Auto Repair, we do more than just transmissions. We care about our customers and hope everyone leaves completely satisfied. Call us or drop by. We're just off Alcoa Road in Benton. Visit us online and like us on Facebook.
The Benton Athletics Program would like to thank our major contributors and supporters of our athletic program.
It's a better way to buy a car and the right way to do business. Come see us and discover the difference at Everett GMC, I-30 at the Alcoa exit.
Welcome back to Benton Panther Football. This week's Coaches Show with Brad Harris. And, Coach, you got the B team today. Dio's not with you. He's getting ready for a pep rally. The honor of getting to walk his daughter in homecoming. It's homecoming week. Is that a big distraction for a football coach?
Well, it has been a lot of things going on this week. With Spirit Week, we've had guys dressing up like cartoon characters this week, walking in the locker room and camoed out, American flagged out, all kinds of stuff. But the kids had a great time with it. We've just tried to tell them to leave everything at the door when they enter the complex and focus on practice. And they've done a pretty good job with it. But you always worry about that as a coach, all the little things that they do, the fun stuff. But we don't want to take the high school experience away from them. We want them to enjoy everything about homecoming week. We just also want them to really focus up when it comes game time and practice time.
A lot of things different tonight with the introduction of the court and different things going on. Anything different in the preparation for the team going into tonight on Friday?
Well, not really. We tried to prep the same way all week. The big deal is, we'll have to get off the field a little earlier.
Yeah,
which
what's the
last week we had the same thing happen
frequency
at Russellville. We had to be off by 6:25. This week we had to be off by 6:30. So, not a lot of different things. But
104.5.
This week we've really focused on the Benton Panthers, not really necessarily on Siloam as much because we felt like we hurt ourselves a lot last week. So, that was the main focus of this week's practice.
Let's go back last week and relive that just a moment. Lose by 21 points. They get 17 off 3 turnovers, and we had a fumble down in the red zone. That's 24 points right there. Big swing.
Big swing. We looked at it after the game and watching film all weekend. We have 3 turnovers and miss a field goal, and we give them, like you said, 17 points off our turnovers, So that's the difference in the ball game. And, that's what I mentioned earlier. We've got to take care of the football better. We got to take care of ourselves. And last week we really felt like that we hit the self-destruct button at certain times, and it really hurt the team. We panicked a little bit at times on the field whenever we got down just a little bit, and I don't think we had quite enough confidence, didn't know if we could come back, question ourselves, and then late in the game, end of the third and the start of the fourth, we made a little bit of a run, and I think we got that spark back. We've got to learn that even when we're down by 14 or 21 early, that there's plenty of time left, and we really pushed that across to them this week. Hey, we almost made a run at it early in the fourth, and if we would have made that same run earlier in the ball game, who knows what would have happened.
Part of that rally was Matt Warwick's onside kick. Matt's been automatic on extra points, 3 for 4 on field goals, and a great onside kick last Friday against Russellville.
Yeah, most definitely. Matt does a tremendous job for us. He works every day on onside kicks, kicking ball different angles, different places, squib kicks, and he does a great job. The onside kick that we recovered was awesome. It's totally surprised them. We get that one. Then we line back up in a traditional onside kick, and we come out, probably less than a half of a yard getting that one. We just touched it just a little bit too early, but a great kick by Matt again. And like you said, he's been great with our extra point game, and the other night he pushed one just a little bit wide right, but, that's not typical Matt. And this week in practice he's had a really good week. He actually hit one with a little bit of wind this week in practice from, I think, 55, so he's got a really strong leg and everything. Feel real confident with him with 40 and in.
So let's talk about Siloam Springs real quick. What kind of team's coming to Benton tonight?
Well, they're a spread-oriented offense. They're big up front on the offensive line. Quarterback is a big kid. He's 6'1", 190-pound kid that likes to run the football. He's their offense runs through him like a typical spread offensive team, but he's their guy. Last week against Sheridan, he rushed for about 220 yards. And, we feel like he's going to try to do the same thing. In each game, you can see that they want him to carry the football. They want him to be their guy. And then they throw the football off of it a little bit too. And they've got a guy that can take it downfield if we need be. But, everything seems to be based around that offensive line and the run game of the quarterback. So we got to play really good defense, better than what we played last week. Don't think we played real well last week defensively, but this week I think the guys will step up to that. Defensively, they're a 4-3 team. They're giving a lot of soft coverage, and we hope that we can take advantage of the underneath routes, the spacing concepts that we run, getting the ball in and out into our players' hands on the edge. So should be a great ball game. It's a lot of excitement for us. They're 1-0. In conference, so they've got some confidence, and we're chasing them right now. So that's what we've really sold our guys all week.
Must win, not only for homecoming. You got folks that come back and want to see the Panthers win, but Panthers trying to dig out of an early 0-1 hole in conference play. And Brad Harris and the staff has them ready tonight as they play host to Siloam Springs. Brad, good luck. Thanks for joining us. Filling in for Dio Vanucci, this is Jim Gardner. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll be back in the press box for the close of pregame tonight. This is Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
If you haven't been to Everett Buick GMC, we'd like to invite you to come see us and experience what family-owned, customer-friendly really means. There is a difference. Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at the Alcoa exit.
Promotional consideration for today's game is brought to you by Throwback Cuts, Fades, Razor Lines, Colored Designs, Straight Razor Shave. The latest styles are what we do. Sweet Tea Cafe. Dine in and ask about our daily specials or call ahead for catering and carryout. 501-943-7700. Williams Tire. We take pride in offering name brand tires, wheels, and auto repair service to our customers. Papa John's Pizza. Receive 30% off your order during this broadcast. Use the promo code FIDELITY.
We're 12 minutes away from kickoff tonight here at the Palace as the Panthers host the Siloam Springs Panthers for homecoming. Last week, Benton went on the road to Russellville, and things didn't go real well for Benton. Some turnovers. Russellville able to win 45-24 in the 6A West opener. Siloam Springs, on the other hand, hosted Sheridan. And after falling behind early, Siloam Springs able to come back and win their conference opener 24-21 over the Yellow Jackets. Luke Gumm, their place kicker, kicked a game-winning field goal at the end of that ball game to propel Siloam Springs to the win. As we look at the conference standings through 1 week of play, Lake Hamilton, Greenwood, Russellville, and Siloam, all winners last week in the conference opener. Our Panthers, El Dorado, Sheridan, and Texarkana all fell in the Week 1 opener. So things are going to sort out a little more tonight as we move into Week 2 of conference play. And as we look at the conference schedule tonight, of course, Siloam Springs is here against Benton. Russellville is down the road in Grant County playing Sheridan tonight. Greenwood has made the longest drive in their school football team's history down to Union County, where they will play the Wildcats of El Dorado. And Lake Hamilton has gone to Texarkana tonight. So those are the games that we'll keep an eye on across the conference tonight. Around Saline County, Bryant played last week against Little Rock Catholic and came out victorious in that one. Harmony Grove is at Bismarck tonight. Jesseville is at Glen Rose, and Ashdown is at Bauxite. Tonight's broadcast of Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas, 690 AM and 93.7 FM, and Fidelity Local 6 and HD 406 is brought to you by Everett Buick GMC. Warwick Hydraulic, Black, Corley, Owens, and Hughes, First Trust Home Loans and Agent Dio Vanucci, Access Control Devices, Inc., Williams Tire and Service, Centerpoint Church, State Senator Jeremy Hutchinson, First Security Bank, CDI Contractors, Benton Eye Care and Dr. Brian Armstrong, Smith Caldwell Drugstore, Copeland's Restaurant, Congo Fireplace and Patio, State Representative Kim Hammer, Allied Glass, Simmons Bank, First National Title, Ashby Funeral Home, and Saline Memorial Hospital. Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6 is presented by the Benton Touchdown Club, the booster club of Benton Panther football. Visit BentonPantherFootball.com right now to become a member for a complete team store of apparel, for rosters, stats, schedules, and stories about your Benton Panthers. Appreciate our outstanding camera crew tonight, capturing all the sights and sounds of homecoming. Tasha Hester, Will Burrow, Tyler Walker on the cameras, and we actually pulled him out of exile back over to the Palace tonight. Aaron Garrett with the field-level camera at the 50-yard line that had HD quality images of John Penn escorting his daughter, sophomore maid Abby Penn, in tonight's homecoming presentation. Again, tonight's homecoming court, as those watching on the live video stream can see the beautiful young ladies taking their seats in the north end zone. Sophomore maids Julia Dick and Abby Penn, junior maids Anna Grace Davis and Lacey Jumper, senior maids Lila Buchanan, Haley Hart, Bree Hunter, Maddie Moritz, and Abby Walker, and the queen, the beautiful daughter of our favorite sideline guy, Dio Vanucci. Let's go to the picks to click as the Panthers are making their way toward the tunnel. We're about 7 minutes to kickoff. Tonight, the way we do this is the guy that finished last the week before gets to pick first the next week. And since I pulled in the cellar last week, I'm going to take Brandon Hunter and Dawson Morris, the leading touchdown man for the Panther offense and the leading tackler on defense. Our sideline guy, Dio Vanucci, tonight is going to take Nate Beck on offense and Braylon Alcorn back in the Panther lineup tonight after missing the last 2 weeks due to injury. John Penn, who will join us shortly, is taking Trey Pepper on offense, leading receiver for the Panthers, and Chandler Clift, who's leading the team in sacks with 3 on defense, and Matt Johnson in the crew tonight taking Matt Warwick, the Panther place kicker, on offense, and Preston Stone on defense. Panthers come into this one 2-2 overall, 0-1 in conference play. Coming in, Siloam Springs 1-3 overall, 1-0 in conference play. Officials are on the Siloam Springs side of the field, a decent crowd across the way, considering the distance that the folks from Siloam Springs had to travel to get here. The new alignment in the 6A West makes for some awful long drives. Of course, Siloam Springs is here. Greenwood is down in El Dorado. The longest drive of the year coming up when El Dorado goes all the way to Siloam Springs in a couple of weeks for what is a conference matchup. Appreciate new sponsor to Benton Panther football tonight, Centerpoint Church. You're invited to Centerpoint Church Sundays at 9 o'clock and 10:45. They offer contemporary worship and encouraging, relevant messages from God's Word from Pastor Pat DeZort. They also have midweek service each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. You can visit them online at centerpointar.tv, and they are also all over social media. On Facebook, it's CPC Benton. On Instagram and Twitter, it's at CPC_info. And after getting through this pregame flying solo, Tony Linehan comes in and joins us. Tony, I will say we missed you greatly last week in that 6x6 box that we were in. There was barely room for the two of us there. So we really did miss your contribution for sure. We're about 5 minutes from kickoff, and we're waiting on John Penn to saddle up and put his microphone on and give us some pinpoints to a Panther victory. John, you've been awful busy, but what a neat night for you and your daughter.
Yeah, you know, homecoming is a very special night, and I've been to a ton of homecomings over the years, several of them when I was in high school here, and then ever since then, probably made at least half of them down through the years, but I've never actually on the field during a homecoming pre-ceremony, so it was an honor, and they did a real good job setting that up tonight.
So as we shift from dad walking daughter mode to press box analyst now, how about pinpointing some keys to a Panther victory tonight?
Well, first off, you know, this team has been playing great defense all year. And so tonight, it's all about doing your job. Play assignments against this zone read. They love to run the double option quarterback and a running back. And as long as we'll play assignment football tonight, really critical for our front six, Jim. Our two ends, our nose, and our three inside linebackers to all kind of pay attention to what's going on, do their jobs. Offense, establish an up-tempo passing game. They're going to run a 4-3, cover 2, cover 4 zone like we used to see here at Benton prior to the days of the PDC and Brad Harris's odd front defense. That's going to create some soft spots in that zone. You should see a lot of short passing and then some vertical passing later in the game. The team don't give away points. We saw it in Bryant, we lost. We saw it at Russellville in the loss. We cannot give away points. That's when you beat yourself, Jim. If we'll do those things tonight, we'll get out of here with a win.
Panther captains tonight, Braden Harris, Brandon Hunter, Nate Beck, and Preston Stone. Panthers won the toss and elected to defer, and now as the captains line up, the official is going to say Benton will receive and defend the south end zone. Siloam Springs. Now the referee said Siloam Springs is receiving. Yes, Benton deferred. Siloam Springs will receive and defend the north end zone. Benton will kick from the south end zone. So Benton will go right to left across your radio dial here in the first quarter. Panthers in white pants, maroon tops, maroon helmets tonight. Siloam Springs, also the Panthers, in silver pants, silver helmets, white tops, and maroon numbers. So the teams a mirror image of each other in uniform color, John.
Yeah, and you know, they're both teams that are looking to make a statement in this 6A West this year. So far, all the talk was about Greenwood and El Dorado, and now Russellville has kind of joined that discussion, as has Lake Hamilton. So two teams looking to kind of garner their respect back and say, hey, we're here and we're ready to play. Jim, I do want to give a special congratulations to the Siloam Springs Panthers. For the last 4 years, they have been in the most brutal conference, playing the most brutal schedule in Arkansas high school football. They came out of the 5A West in 2012 into the 6A, 7A, which was mostly 7A West, and it has been absolutely brutal. So congratulations to them. They finally get to play in a conference with schools that they're evenly matched against, that have the same size student bodies, and you know they've got to be happy about it, even though it's a little bit more driving.
Brian Ross, their head coach, 28-50-1 overall in his 8th year, and probably the happiest man in Northwest Arkansas to get out of that brutal 7A as the Panthers make their way onto the field through the tunnel and through the smoke provided by Independent Fire Extinguisher Sales and Service. Mr. Randy Adney and his company, located at 515 Bird Street in Benton. Their phone number is 778-4197 for all your fire extinguisher sales and service needs. John, we're ready for a homecoming kickoff and a game that the Benton Panthers really need to win as they come in sort of licking their wounds from a self-destructive loss at Russellville.
Yeah, it'd be a good time to right the ship. You know, it's way too early to start talking about conference standings, but I can tell you one thing. I don't know that an undefeated team will win it this year. I think it's more than likely you'll have a team with one loss. I don't know if a two-loss team will win this conference, Jim, especially the way Greenwood's playing. So we lost a conference game to a good opponent. We're still in the hunt. We still control our own destiny. It's just we got to win out from here, I think, if we want to be there in November getting that conference championship.
Want to give a quick hello to my wife's best friend from Florida. She heard it was homecoming in Benton and came in from the Gulf Coast.
So did a lot of other people, Jim. This is a great crowd.
Yeah, I saw KATV Stacy Spivey, Benton alumnus, just take her seat. Good crowd here for homecoming tonight. Appreciate everybody across the United States watching the video feed. Brought to you by Fidelity Local 6 and those listening in on Fox Sports Arkansas. As Matt Warwick kicks it off for the Panthers, it's a high end-over-end kick that's going to come down to the 13-yard line. Return for Siloam Springs is J.D. Horn, their talented wide receiver, and he takes it back to the 34-yard line where Siloam Springs will scrimmage 1st and 10. And, John, as we watch this offense, it begins and ends with their quarterback.
Yeah, it really does. They love running the zone read. Their quarterback accounts for the lion's share of their offensive production. And tonight, it's going to be up to that front six to really shut that down. If they can do that, I don't know if Siloam Springs has any other tricks up their sleeve.
Luke Lampton is that quarterback, and he's going to take a shotgun snap and hand it off to the first man through, Kevin Canales, and he's dropped after no gain. And Mel Hegwood in there for the Panther defense. Let's set the starters. Chandler Clift and Blake Edwards are the ends. Mel Hegwood is the nose man. Braden Harris and Dawson Morris, joined by Braylon Alcorn, who's been out the last 2 weeks, back in the starting lineup. Will Watts, the spur, Preston Stone, the bandit, Junior Hendricks and DJ Sturgis, the corners, and Bo Brewer, the free safety. Second down, Lampton fakes, fires, and it was almost picked off by Will White at the 43.
Yeah, great coverage there by Will White. And you saw in that first play of the game there, the end came in and absolutely blew up that play along with the nose man. But you see Chandler Cliff getting some pressure, Will White with good coverage there. So far, the Panthers looking strong on defense.
3rd down and 10 for Siloam Springs. They break the huddle with trips to the open side of the field, which is the left. One back in the backfield. Lampton drops back, pressured by Chandler Cliff, throws, and the catch is made. It'll be 1st down yardage. I believe that was J.D. Horn making the catch. He is their leading receiver, caught 6 passes last week against Sheridan, and he makes the catch at the 45 for a Siloam Springs 1st down.
Yeah, the old exit play there where Chandler Cliff comes around to the middle, waits on a delay, and then shoots right through the middle. He got a good hit on the quarterback, but unfortunately got the ball off and they got a 1st down.
Trips again to the wide side of the field, and we've got penalty markers that blow this play dead before the snap, and it's a false start against Siloam Springs. Back them up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. This Siloam Springs team, John, comes in averaging 17 a game. The Benton defense giving up 19 a game after Russellville exploded for 45 last week.
Yeah, and a lot of those points, though, Jim, go in that unearned runs category that you have in baseball that, unfortunately, for the PDC, you don't have in football. That they had some bad field position in some of those games.
1st and 15, give it off to Canales, the tailback, and he's going to pick up 2 yards up to the 42-yard line as he has tackled the linebacking core leading the charge that time, Braden Harris.
Yeah, and you see Braden Harris taking on the guy that was pulling around, setting that edge there, did a good job, and the defense just collapsed on the runner.
2nd down and 13 for Siloam Springs at their own 42-yard line. Lampton's going to roll to the left, keep running to the left, and Mel Hegwood's going to drop him at the 39 for a loss of 3.
Yeah, that's a great read there by Mel, and you're going to see tonight that this Panther defense they're going to do a lot of different things with those front six. Siloam's not going to know where they're coming from. And so far, you see Benton in the backfield. Braylon Alcorn comes up and absolutely blows up one of the blockers. But right now, Jim, that front six is getting good penetration into the backfield. They're staying in their lanes, being disciplined, and now we've got them in a 3rd and long.
3rd down and 16 for Siloam Springs at their own 39-yard line. Dawson Morris creeping up near the line. Now here comes Braden Harris. Panthers trying to put pressure on Lampton. He throws long for J.D. Horn, who had gotten behind Junior Hendricks, but the ball falls incomplete, and the Panthers dodged a bullet.
Yeah, and I think if you talk to Bobby Wynn, he's going to be okay with Siloam Springs throwing deep tonight and being in a 3rd and long, because that's something they haven't executed well this year. So good job by this PDC. Now they're going to get the offensive ball, hopefully with decent field position.
Braden Hendricks and Bo Brewer go back to return the punt. That is forthcoming from Siloam Springs. Brewer and Hendricks stand at their own 25-yard line. Gum, the punter, punts it. It lands at the 30, and Hendricks is going to field it before it goes out of bounds. He has no room, steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Benton offense will take the field for the first time tonight, led out by quarterback Nate Beck. His offensive line tonight, Jared Hastings, Kyle Mayfield, Brett Tittle, Taylor Cochran, and Bo Belcher. Brandon Hunter, who is averaging 10 yards a carry. 44 carries for 440 yards, the running back. The receivers are Trey Pepper, Ty Callahan, Clayton Mertens, and Camion Riley. 1st and 10 Panthers at their own 25. Nate Beck looks. He fires it out to Pepper. Pepper was going to pitch it to Brandon Hunter, and the ball came to the turf as Siloam Springs knocked it away. Has Siloam recovered? They have, John. Panthers were going to try a gadget play on 1st down, and it goes against Benton, and the turnovers that damaged Benton so badly last week strike again on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, and that was should have been the number 1 pinpoint to winning this game. It was in the number 3 slot this year, but they haven't got points yet. They still got to go 18, 17 yards against this PDC defense. Let's see if we can bow our backs here.
11th turnover of the season for the Panthers. The Siloam has it in the red zone. Canales gets the 1st down carry, and he gets nothing as 3 Panthers were there to make the tackle. Mel Hegwood at the bottom, Dawson Morris on top, bringing Canales to the ground.
Yeah, and credit Chandler Clift here for coming in and really blowing up that play and kind of shortening that gap that the runner had and the other Panthers filling in there. That was a good defensive effort there by the front 3.
2nd down and 10. The running has been negligible for Siloam Springs here in the early going. The PDC really playing well in the gaps. Lampton looking to throw, trying to get it to J.D. Horn, and Junior Hendricks almost picked it off at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and you see pressure there again on the quarterback. This offensive line from Siloam struggling to give him time to look downfield and get his feet set and throw that ball. And that's 2, Jim, that's almost been picked. And that's a battle we want to win tonight, is the turnover battle.
3rd down and 10 for Siloam, just inside the Benton 20. Lampton fakes it to Canales, pressured by Chandler Cliff. He throws it up in the air and just threw that one away out of the back of the end zone as Chandler Cliff was breathing down Luke Lampton's neck.
Yeah, and talked to Bobby Wynn before the game, and he said, look for these defensive ends to have a big night tonight. They're going to be stunting all over the place. It's going to be hard for Siloam to know who to block. We're giving them, Jim, a little bit different look defensively with this odd front and all the stunts that Bobby Wynn and Coach McClellan are running here. It's giving this offensive line fits, and you can see it early in the game.
Siloam taking their time getting the play in. Snap clock down to 12, down to 10. 8:22 to go in a scoreless first quarter. It's 4th down and 10, Siloam at the Benton 19. Lampton looking to throw, throwing to no one, as it seems to be a miscommunication by Siloam Springs, and the Benton defense dodges a bullet.
Well, the miscommunication was they cannot block Chandler Clift. He has not been blocked yet on however many plays of offense they've run. And you see Chandler, I mean, he just comes off the edge, good speed, great angle, and this quarterback's probably going to get a get well card from the Clift family because Chandler has been all over him tonight.
1st and 10 Benton, their second snap of the ball game. Trips to the left, Hunter in motion to the left. Now Beck's going to swing it out to Trey Pepper. He gets good blocking on the edge and is over the 30 up to the 40-yard line. It's a 20-yard first down gain as Nate Beck got it to Trey Pepper, and the blocking on the edge outstanding, John.
Yeah, and you see Nate Beck gets the ball out in a hurry. Pepper, he gets upfield in a hurry, but look at the blocking downfield, especially 88 Clayton Mertens holding that block in space, Jim. Great job by the junior receiver.
Empty backfield, 5-receiver formation for Benton. 1st and 10 at the 41. Beck looking, gets it to Camion Riley, and Camion is going to be up to the 47. His first catch of the season, John, in week 5, and it picks up 6 yards for Benton.
Yeah, and he catches the ball well, and he could be another weapon here in this Benton offense tonight. But you see the little passes underneath this soft zone coverage, it's there for Benton.
Panthers trying to spread that Siloam Springs defense out. Now they're going to run it with Brandon Hunter, and very quick in the hole is Brandon Hunter running behind Bo Belcher over the 50 to the Siloam Springs 46, and it's a Benton Panther first down.
Yeah, and you see the up-tempo here. That's something that they really want to do, and you see some good blocking up front by Brett Tittle and company, opening that hole for Hunter.
1st and 10 Benton at the Siloam 46-yard line. Hunter gets it again, and the Panther offensive line is winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 8 yards down to the Siloam 39.
Yeah, and these guards, Kyle Mayfield and Taylor Cochran, doing an outstanding job in the middle there. Brett Tittle also pushing the pile downfield.
2nd and short, swing it out to Brandon Hunter. He's got first down yardage, loses his footing, regains his balance, and John, that's an incredible run for a Benton touchdown.
That is a highlight reel run by Brandon Hunter. And there's 2 things to point out on that. Number 1, the block on the edge by Clayton Mertens was outstanding. Secondly, last week we saw Brandon Hunter go out of bounds a couple of times whenever a defender got close to him on the hash marks. This week, one thing they told him was, look, when you get to that sideline, don't go out of bounds. Cut it up. Get by these guys. Roll over people. And that was a tremendous run by Hunter.
Swinging gate, Preston Stone, pitch to Bo Brewer. He throws it into the back of the end zone to Braden Harris, and the Panthers convert with 6:57 to go in the first quarter. Benton leads it 8-0. This is Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
At Midstate Transmission, we're more than just your everyday repair shop. We're an affordable, caring, and customer-focused business. We've been treating our customers like family for over 8 years. We're the experts in transmission repair and offer the best warranty in town. Here at Midstate Transmission and Auto Repair, we do more than just transmissions. We care about our customers and hope everyone leaves completely satisfied. Call us or drop by. We're just off Alcoa Road in Benton. Visit us online and like us on Facebook.
Panthers go 81 yards in 5 plays. It took just a minute, 16 seconds. And John, we got an early entry for the Williams Tire and Service play of the game as Brandon Hunter went 39 yards for the Benton touchdown.
Yeah, it's just a great run by Brandon Hunter. He absolutely denied being tackled on that, and that's what they want to see. We know he's got speed, we know he's got moves, but that determination that I'm not going out of bounds, I'm going to run over people. That was a great run by Hunter.
Matt Warwick puts his foot into it, kicks it high, kicks it short, and kicks it out of bounds, and there comes the penalty flag, and we'll see what Siloam Springs chooses to do. Panther football brought to you tonight by Everett Buick GMC. They're family-owned, customer-friendly, and it's a better way to buy. Everett Buick GMC. Ball kicked out of bounds, and Siloam Springs is going to take it at their own 35.
Saw a great special teams tackle by Ty Nethery on that first kickoff. It's perfect execution. That time, Warwick with the kick out of bounds.
So it's 1st and 10. Siloam Springs at their own 35-yard line. Benton leading at 8-0. Snap back to Lampton, and he hands it off to Caden Thrailkill, his sophomore running back. And again, the PDC right there, John, to smother Thrailkill for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, as long as Chandler Clift is in this ball game, that zone read is not going to work. They're absolutely blowing it up. They tightened up their ends this week, Jim, into more of a 5 technique on both sides, and it's causing problems for this offensive line. They're running stunts. They don't know what they're going to do. That time they played heads up and got in their backfield quick.
2nd down and 12. Play action. Lampton throws under pressure and completes it in the flat to Montana Burke up to the 35-yard line. It's just a 2-yard gain, and Siloam faces 3rd and 10.
Well, the play never really had time to develop because not only did you have Clift coming through again, but you had Will White, and welcome back Braylon Alcorn. He had nowhere to go. He couldn't get his feet set. That's good coverage by Bo Brewer coming up from the safety position.
Speaking of welcome back, did you notice homecoming MC Mason Woolbright playing welcome back?
Welcome back
in the pregame.
In the Freddie Reinhardt maroon suit, signature series.
3rd down and 10 for Siloam. Lampton looking deep, and he's going to overthrow everybody, and Siloam's going to have to punt it away again.
Yeah, and the quarterback for Siloam you almost feel like his timing is completely off now. He knows he's got to get rid of that ball quick. He saw Harris coming through there, and I believe that was Edwards coming through as well.
Well, the PDC looks
They're fired up
really
tonight.
good tonight. After tightening the screws a little bit after last week, they've come out these first 3 possessions solid as a rock. Luke Gum to punt it away for Siloam. He's going to put his foot into it at the 25 and kicks it about 60 yards in the air and about 20 yards downfield. It takes a right turn when it hits the turf and going to be downed at the 50-yard line. It's only a 15-yard punt.
Yeah, and you saw the speed of Junior Hendricks there when they yelled out to clear. And Junior Hendricks made it from midfield to the sideline in about a 1.5 seconds. While that ball was hanging in the air, they couldn't find it. And that's good field position for this offense.
Panther football brought to you by Warwick Hydraulic, specializing in new manufacturing and repair of hydraulic cylinders. 3 generations of Warwicks have been Benton Panthers, and they've been doing business right here in Benton, Arkansas since 1973. Warwick Hydraulic, proud sponsor of Benton football. 1st and 10 Panthers right at midfield. Beck bobbles the snap, throws it out to Trey Pepper, and Trey is going to get to the edge and to the 45-yard line before he's upended.
Nice effort there by Pepper, showing some moves in the open field, and did a good job getting some extra yards after the catch there. Good play by Beck, getting that ball out quick. Pepper throwing out the stiff arm.
Learned that from his daddy, I'm sure. 2nd down and 5, Mr. Rob Pepper, one of our great buddies, as Brandon Hunter gets the carry, and he's going to have 3 yards. Benton will face a 3rd and 2. And, John, that last possession on the touchdown, Jared Hastings came limping off the field. Ben Browning has checked in at right tackle, and they've moved Bo Belcher over to left tackle.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about this line. They can plug and play several guys.
As the Panthers false start on the 3rd and 2, going to back them up 5 yards, and Benton will now face 3rd and 7 at the Siloam 47.
Yeah, this offensive line is fired up tonight, and you can tell they're pretty antsy. They want to get a hold of this D line. They've been pushing them back all evening. That time just a little bit too excited, I think.
3rd and 7, trips to the left. Hunter coming in motion to the left. Backfield now empty. Beck drops back, and Beck is pressured, and Beck is going to be sacked back at the 45-yard line as the Siloam pressure got to him that time. James Boyd and Zach Ramsey from that Siloam front line bring him down.
Yeah, and when we look at the replay on this, you see we get guys picked up, but we just couldn't get the speed off of the edge. they collapse the pocket on Beck, and now we're in a pretty long 4th down here, Jim.
Braden Harris going to come on to punt it away. He's averaging 37.9 yards per punt this year, a long of 55. And we'll see if Braden can get off a long punt here. The flag is limp. There's no wind to speak of. Very pleasant homecoming night here in Benton, Arkansas, as Braden's going to kick it low, end over end, and it's going to be picked up and fielded by J.D. Horn, their speedy receiver, and he has running room along the Siloam sideline over midfield. He's going to be ridden out of bounds by Braden Harris, and Siloam is going to be set up on the Panther side of the 50.
Yeah, and this whole chain of events here was set up by a penalty. And we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot here tonight. We want to play clean football. And unfortunately, the field position here is flipped in favor of Siloam.
They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the Siloam 49, so it's 1st and 10, Siloam Springs. Lampton on the keeper, and he is going to try to run out of an arm tackle from Braden Harris, who grabbed a hold of his jersey and held on till help arrived and dropped him at the Benton 46.
Look, we know from watching film, he's probably their most dangerous offensive weapon as far as what they do and how they use him, and he's the key to stopping this Siloam offense, and he made a good, strong run in.
Ran for 231 yards in the win over Sheridan last week. 3 touchdowns, single-handedly led that Siloam offense to a 3-point win. 2nd down and 5 Siloam at the Benton 46. 2:30 to go in the first quarter. Benton leads at 8-0, and Threlkel gets the carry running left, and Bo Brewer comes up and makes a great tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a good play there by the Panthers secondary, reading that, the linebackers filling those gaps, and you see Brewer come in, make a good tackle on the runner.
So it'll be 3rd and 5 Siloam, ball on the left hash mark at the Benton 46-yard line. Bobby Wynn signaling into his defense. Siloam is going to set the offense with a tight end to the left, 3 receivers to the right, running back to the right beside Lampton in the shotgun. Lampton unloads it. It's intercepted! Junior Hendricks picked off a pass intended for J.D. Horn. And, John, I think Lampton unloaded that before he was ready, and Junior Hendricks made a great play.
Let's talk about the pressure from Chandler Clift and the hit that he absolutely laid on this quarterback. I wasn't sure if he was going to get up. Just a great hit by Chandler Clift, and it disrupted the pass there. Junior Hendricks with a good read, good jump on the ball, and now we get a turnover, Jim, and we're in business.
First interception of the season for Junior. 1st and 10 Benton offense. They flip it forward to Brandon Hunter. That counts as a reception, and it's going to go for 15 yards into Siloam Springs territory, as it's that little jet sweep with a forward pitch, John. It counts as a complete pass, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Benton at the Siloam 47.
And Clayton Mertens looks like an offensive tackle out there, just manhandling some of these Siloam Springs players. Great job blocking by Mertens.
1st and 10 Panthers. Hunter in motion to the left toward the trip side of the formation. Going to swing it to Ty Callahan. He breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and it takes 2 Siloam Springs Panthers to tackle him at the 38-yard line. Just shy of a 1st down, but strong running after catch for Ty Callahan.
Yeah, and we had one defender that didn't get blocked on that play, and Ty Callahan had to make one man miss, and he did a great job of doing that. And after he missed, there was plenty of room, and he kept running hard. Chase Shamlin-like run there by Callahan.
Looking for Michael Allison on the near sideline, and Allison made a circus catch. They say he was out of bounds, but John Allison went up high, landed on his back. What an incredible effort, but out of bounds.
Yeah, this kid is special. There's no doubt about it, and he's only a sophomore, and he's getting some time on the varsity because of his ability to go up and get balls. That time just could not get his feet down. He had to go up a little too high for the ball.
2 receivers to each side. Hunter in the backfield, and the timing that time of the snap disrupted And it's going to be a false start against Benton. Again, John, a 3rd and short for the Panthers, and a penalty is going to make it a tougher conversion.
Yeah, and we saw it on the last possession. Benton called for a penalty, and it backed them up. And on the next play, everything just kind of fell apart. So we've got to keep our composure, be mentally tough here, and come back and convert this 3rd down. 56
seconds to go in the first quarter. Benton leads it 8-0. It's 3rd down and 7, Benton at the Siloam 44. Beck fakes to Hunter. Beck looks. Pocket breaks down. Nate's going to run, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 41-yard line. It's going to be 4 yards short and leave Benton with 4th and 4.
Well, and credit Siloam secondary there. That was great pass protection by the Benton offensive line. Beck had plenty of time to check to 1, to check to 2. He took off running, had some blocking downfield, but just not long enough to get the 1st down.
4th and short, bring in the heavy package. Bryson Krebs and Braden Harris come in. They're going to align behind Ben Browning on the right side. Preston Stone to take the direct snap from center. Since Ty Callahan in motion, they give it to Ty Callahan on the jet sweep, and Ty has the 1st down over the 35 to the 33.
Yeah, great blocking there, and especially number 45, Bryson Krebs, pushing the man assigned to set the edge out of the picture, and Callahan saw that hole open up, and he's quick. He's got some moves. Good job there by number 22 and number 45.
Ty with a 12-catch game last week at Russellville. Carries for a 1st down. Now Preston Stone takes the direct snap, and the Panther offensive line, again, John, with a good surge, and Stone picks up 8 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, Belcher, Mayfield, Browning, and Tittle all doing a fantastic job on that play of blocking, and you can see that we have the ability to run between the tackles.
2nd down and 2 for Benton, and another false start coming up against the Panther offense as Ty Callahan got a Canadian Football League start on that one.
Well, this team is amped up tonight, Jim. You could see it in the warm-ups that they know they let one get by them last week, and they're ready to come back and show that they are a contender in the 6A West and pour it on Siloam here tonight.
Brett Tittle checks out, and Joshua George comes in at center for this 2nd down play. They're going to give it to Brandon Hunter,
Offsides
and we've got
again.
another penalty marker and another false start against the Benton offense as the first quarter horn sounds. And we're going to have one untimed down. I believe that's what the referee is saying, as he calls a dead ball false start against the Panthers. Tell you what, let's step aside and take a break. Into the first quarter, Benton leads at 8-0. This is Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
We are leaps and bounds ahead of all of our competitors in all of our markets, which sets us apart. What our internet allows you to do is it allows you to grow and expand and continue to do exactly what you want to do and not see any downtime or anything like that with your service. We're constantly proactively trying to make that service, our services, better for the customer. And it's a tops down thing. It's from the executive team all the way down to our customer care agents. Everyone really truly cares about it, which makes Fidelity a unique company to work for.
For all of your internet, television, and phone needs, call Fidelity or visit us online today.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to homecoming at the Palace. Benton leads at 8-0 over Siloam Springs after one quarter. Premier Nationwide Lending is now First Trust Home Loans. They're in the same place, and you're going to get the same great service from our sideline guy, Dio Vanucci, who happens to be the lucky dad of this year's homecoming queen. Dio, congratulations to you.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. It's good to be down here on the sidelines and out of that suit. I can assure you that it's nice to be out of the suit. So, hey, in this tale of two Panthers that we're playing tonight, I'm going to wax poetic here. What I saw on film from the Siloam Springs Panthers is showing up in their offense. Their quarterback's pretty good on the run, but he's not very accurate with his throws, and that's shown. But for some reason, how about this Panther offense with all the false starts? We can't seem to get going.
Yeah, we mentioned that, Dio. That's a great observation. 4 false starts, John, in the first quarter for the Panther offense.
Yeah, and we saw the trainer working on the offensive line coach, Jason Gentry, there. We're afraid we're going to have to give him an oxygen mask after that 4th false start, and then the timeout there at the end of the quarter.
3rd down and 4, Benton. As we begin the second quarter, Nate Beck running the option to the right. Pitches to Brandon Hunter. Brandon in the open. Brandon Hunter in the end zone for a Benton Panther touchdown.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and give helmet stickers there to 2 players. Braden Hendricks, Clayton Mertens, number 8 and number 88. Fantastic blocking downfield, Jim. And that's what really makes this Panther offense go, is the blocking downfield by the special, the skill position players.
That's a sophomore and a junior with RBI blocks, getting the running back in the end zone as the Panthers are going to swing and gate again, and Preston Stone's going to walk in. Benton leads it with 11:52 to go in the first half, 16-0 over Siloam Springs. This is Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
At Midstate Transmission, we're more than just your everyday repair shop. We're an affordable, caring, and customer-focused business. We've been treating our customers like family for over 8 years. We're the experts in transmission repair and offer the best warranty in town. Here at Midstate Transmission and Auto Repair, we do more than just transmissions. We care about our customers and hope everyone leaves completely satisfied. Call us or drop by. We're just off Alcoa Road in Benton. Visit us online and like us on Facebook.
8 plays, 79 yards in 1:58. Brandon Hunter with his 2nd touchdown of the first half, John, on a 27-yard run, and Benton leads it 16-0.
Yeah, great execution, great play design all the way around by the Benton offense there, and you kind of sense a little bit of momentum building now for this team.
Since we bragged on Clayton Mertens' block, Panther football brought to you by Congo Fireplace and Patio. For all your hearth and patio needs, they've been family-owned since 1920. Congo Fireplace and Patio, proud sponsors of Benton Panther football, as Matt Warwick kicks it off, end over end, high. J.D. Horn's going to field it at the 25, waiting on some blockers as he tiptoes down the sideline, and Zach Wallace, another talented Benton sophomore, makes the tackle at the 38.
Yeah, how about the contribution by these sophomores here tonight? Zach Wallace, Braden Hendricks, Michael Allison, Josh George. We've seen sophomores making plays here tonight. Ty Nethery on special teams with another big tackle. And great execution there by Matt Warwick on that kick.
1st and 10 Siloam. They're going to fake the run to the left. Lampton's going to keep it to the right. And the Panther pursuit, John, outstanding as Lampton picks up 4 yards, but do you see the Panthers flying to the football?
Yeah, they're flying around. They're playing with a lot of energy and intensity, and that was some of what was missing last week. And anytime that ball leaves the middle of the field, you can bet Mel Hegwood's going to be in on the tackle. You see him get caught up in traffic. Bo Brewer does a good job getting position. Hegwood comes in and finishes him off.
Good to see John Winston back out there at defensive end after he battled a hand injury the last couple of weeks. He's the left defensive end on this 2nd down and 6 play for Siloam at their own 43. Lampton pump fakes. He's looking long, trying to get it to J.D. Horn and DJ Sturgis with great coverage for the Panthers in the secondary.
Yeah, that was a good job there by DJ. He stayed right with the receiver, and the quarterback basically threw up a jump ball, and he's got the height and athleticism to get up there and knock that ball down. Great play by number 5.
Horn seems to be the go-to guy in this passing attack. He runs a 4.6 40, but Sturgis and Hendricks both staying with him stride for stride thus far. It's 3rd down and 7, Siloam Springs. Ball at the 43-yard line. 10:57 to go in the second quarter. Benton leads at 16-0. Here comes the pressure again on Lampton, and he overthrows, looking once again for J.D. Horn.
Yeah, and the good thing about that is the Panther defense is not afraid. They send 6 on that play, and the middle of the field was open, but the confidence in Bobby Wynn that these guys are going to get to the quarterback, and they did. And that really helps us, Jim, to focus on stopping this running game, this zone read game that Siloam has.
4th down, and Luke Gum on to punt once again for Siloam. He stands at his own 30. The snap is low. He picks it up. Chandler Clift almost blocked it, and the punt is going to be a short one. Takes a Siloam roll inside the Benton 25 down to the 22-yard line, where the Panthers will scrimmage from there. Dio, we talked a bit ago about the Panther offense. Panther defense, very impressive on that drive.
Yeah, they've really been impressive all night. I mean, they do have a pretty speedy receiver, but how about our cornerbacks and safeties really playing lights out tonight? I mean, Junior Hendricks, was that his first pick of the year?
Yes.
Well, I mean, he almost had an opportunity, another one. So defense is playing outstanding. I noticed on film they really like to run a zone read and run up the middle with their quarterback, but they haven't even tried it once against us tonight.
No room to run for Siloam. Room to run for Brandon Hunter on 1st down, and he has 1st down yardage to the 37-yard line. Benton Panther football brought to you tonight by Allied Glass and Frame Shop, where you get more than just glass and frame for your auto and home glass needs. They've been in business since 1967. Brandon Hunter with a 1st down run. It's 1st and 10 Benton at the 38. Beck throws quickly to Ty Callahan. Again, good blocking on the edge, and that allows Callahan to pick up 8 yards.
Yeah, and Clayton Mertens is absolutely wearing out this corner over here, number 1 for Siloam Springs. On that previous play, Jim, Trey Pepper getting in on the blocking action with a tremendous block on the edge. These receivers are just playing great tonight. Callahan with another strong run.
Brett Tittle back in at center for the Benton offense on this possession. 2nd down and 2. Fake it to Brandon Hunter. Get it to Clayton Mertens in the flat. Mertens is going to be upended just over midfield to the Siloam 49. It's another Benton Panther 1st down.
And we need to get Clayton Mertens a silver and black helmet, because he's playing angry tonight. I mean, just doing it all. And you see him go down and take on 2 defenders head on, and he just has nasty written all over him, Jim. I'm really impressed with Clayton Mertens tonight.
1st and 10 Benton at the Siloam 49. Nate Beck pumps. Now he's going to keep it, and the pocket really closed up in a hurry. Nate's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and the O-line didn't do a bad job there. Nate just couldn't find an open receiver, and as that pocket began to collapse, he had enough room to run and get about a foot gain.
2nd down and 10. You talk about Clayton Mertens, John. His longest catch of the season, 12 yards.
Yeah, and, you know, he's a junior receiver, and he knows he's a role player this year. He'll be one of the standouts next year, and he's doing his job and doing an excellent role there.
Hard count by Nate Beck draws Siloam off sides. Move the ball up 5 yards, and Benton will have 2nd and 4. My point is, if you need 6, 8, 10 yards, Clayton Mertens is going to catch the football and get them for you.
Yeah, he's got great hands, and he doesn't drop balls. And he's a guy that they want to get more involved in this offense from week to week and key possessions.
2nd and 4, give to Brandon Hunter. He's got the 1st down, running right behind Brett Tittle, the center, to the Siloam 35. Move those chains. 1st down, Benton.
You know, it seems like every week we see Hunter get better at something different, whether it's his cutting, use of speed. This week we see him, he's not just hitting the hole hard, but he's making people miss, and he's running through people. And He's just a good football player.
Nate Beck fakes it this time to Brandon, gets pressure from the center of the Siloam defensive line. Nate tucks and runs, steps out of bounds wisely at the 27-yard line. And, John, there was a block that wowed you.
I'm just telling you right now, my pick for player of the game through this first half is Clayton Mertens. And I can't get points for that pick, but he absolutely decleated that defender.
Second down and 2 as Beck gained 8 yards. Now the option left, pitch it to Brandon Hunter, and he's going to be in the red zone down to the 15-yard line. It's another Benton Fighting Panther first down as Brandon Hunter, having great success on the outside, denied running the ball.
How about the pitch from Nate Beck? It was a 20-yard pitch with his left hand right into Hunter's breadbasket, and Hunter caught that ball in full stride.
1st and 10 Benton at the Siloam 15. There's Clayton Mertens, and Clayton lowers his head after the catch and rumbles inside the 5 down to the 4.
Now, let me tell you, the only player lower than Clayton Mertens on that play was the defender who does a belly flop to get out of his way. We've got Chase Shamlin reincarnated here with about a foot of height added. As Clayton Mertens just wants to fight tonight.
Preston Stone is going to fight toward the end zone as he took the direct snap behind Bryson Krebs and Braden Harris. And he's going to be tackled at the 2-yard line. It's 2nd and goal Benton at the Siloam 2.
I'll tell you, this is a very, very physical football game, Jim, and Benton is winning it.
Taylor Cochran and Ben Browning on the right side of the line. Harris and Krebs behind them. Stone fakes it to Callahan, and Stone is in the end zone for another Benton Panther touchdown, and Benton now leads it 22-0.
Yeah, and that was just good blocking all up and down that offensive line there. You see Cochran, you see a bunch of different players.
As Preston Stone gets in the end zone, it was a wonderful drive that time for the Panthers. 7:47 to go in the second quarter. Benton leads it 22-0, and now lining up in the swinging gate. They bring Matt Warwick in motion, going to run the option. The pitch to Bo Brewer fell to the ground, and Bo just covers it up back at the 11-yard line. Conversion fails, but boy, the scoreboard looks good. It's Benton 22, Siloam 0. This is Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
Family-owned, customer-friendly is more than just a slogan. It's a better way to buy a car and the right way to do business. Come see us and discover the difference at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at the Alcoa exit. If you haven't been to Everett Buick GMC, we'd like to invite you to come see us and experience what family-owned, customer-friendly really means. There is a difference. Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at the Alcoa exit.
Panther football brought to you tonight by State Representative Kim Hammer, our good friend and big-time fan of the Benton Panthers. State Representative Kim Hammer, proud sponsor of Benton Panther football. John, that drive, 10 plays, 70 yards, took 2 minutes and 53 seconds, and Preston Stone punches it in from 1 yard out.
Yeah, good execution by the Panther offense there. Biggest thing I saw in that drive, Jim, was just how physical they played. Great blocking, not just from the offensive line, but from those receivers on the outside.
Matt Warwick kicks it off, and it's going to be short-hopped by Dalton Ferguson. He's trying to find some room to run, but he has nowhere to run as downfield for the Panther special teams, Will Smith leading the charge.
Yeah, and that's, we've seen the Panthers struggle on special teams some. That was perfect execution. Good kick by Warwick and very good coverage by this Panther kickoff team.
So it'll be first down Siloam. They're going to start inside their own 20-yard line as Benton's kick coverage team downfield in a hurry. Siloam with the ball at their own 16-yard line. Lampton takes a high snap, gives it off to Canales, and he picks up 3 yards. Braylon Alcorn, John, really showing up tonight.
Yeah, and you see the ends come in a little bit wide there. Middle of the field is open. That's Alcorn's responsibility. Dawson Morris closing in on one side. Alcorn steps in, fills the gap. Great defensive execution.
Braylon had 11 tackles the first 2 games of the season, out the last 2 weeks with injury. And he's playing very hard tonight as Lampton rolls out on a run-pass option. Will White's waiting on him at the 20-yard line. It's another very short gain for Siloam and leaves them with a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and it was almost like watching a train wreck there because Braden Harris is in hot pursuit. And you can tell that something bad was about to happen to the quarterback there for Siloam. Bo Brewer closing in, looking to make another big hit. These Panthers came to be physical tonight, Jim, and you got to love their intensity.
6:30 and counting to go in the second quarter. Benton leads at 22-0, and on 3rd down, Lampton rolling. Preston Stone putting pressure on. He finally connects with J.D. Horn, but we do have a penalty marker. The catch is good enough for 1st down yardage, John, but we'll have to sort out the penalty.
Yeah, and I didn't see what happened. We'll see what the officials call. It was thrown in kind of a strange place as they sort this thing out.
The back judge came in. Now the side judge comes over, visits with the referee. Now he's talking to the Siloam Springs coaching staff, and it appears maybe the Siloam Springs coach is going to have a decision to make here. And you can see one of the coaches across the way, former Panther head coach Mark Jones, their defensive coordinator, trying to bend the ear of the official as well, as they're going to come over and finally give us the signal here. We've got a holding coming up against Benton. They're going to decline that, take the result of the play, and it'll be 1st down Siloam Springs at the 31.
Well, and that's going to be a gift there that Siloam Springs really needed to get the ball toward the middle of the field. Couldn't really see what happened on the replay. Tough break for the Panthers.
1st down, and Lampton keeps, and he should have let his running back have it because Chandler Cliff let Lampton have it.
Yeah, Cliff is angry about something here tonight. I'm not sure what it is, but he is playing like a man with bad intentions.
Chandler came in with 9 tackles for loss, and he's multiplying that in this first half. As Lampton takes the 2nd down and 15 snap, throws Bo Brewer with a great break on it, and he intercepts it, stepped right in front of J.D. Horn at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Jim, and something before the game that we talked about, I was going to be throwing some trivia questions at you tonight. We have a player, a starter on this Benton team whose mom was a homecoming queen in 1990. His dad was a standout football player in 1990. Can you name that player?
1990.
Mom and dad, both on the field that night. Mom is a homecoming queen. Dad is a great running back for that team.
1st down and 10 Panthers at the 44. Get it out to Ty Callahan, and he's going to carry for 6 yards following the catch. 1990?
Yeah, and their son's a starter.
I thought this was about homecoming maids.
It is, but this particular player had a mom who was the queen.
In 90. That's a year after I graduated. Give me a sec. 2nd down and 5, Benton, as they get it out to Callahan again, and Callahan's going to have 1st down yardage. He's tackled at the 30-yard line by Luke Gum, the cornerback for Siloam Springs. But again, John, the Panthers picking up 6 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, just very methodical tonight.
Underneath this soft cover 2, cover 4 zone that Siloam likes to run. That was a good throw there by Beck.
1st down and 10 Panthers. Get it to Callahan again. Blocking on the edge again. Callahan to the open field. Callahan to the end zone. Touchdown, Benton.
Yeah, and credit that Mertens to Hunter to Brett Tittle leading the charge. He was the first man to the end zone, made the final block that allowed Benton to get into the end zone. But it started with the block from Mertens, then the block from Brandon Hunter, and finishing it off without getting a penalty, Brett Tittle, great job downfield blocking the last man.
Yeah, we saw Brett do that against Greenbrier, and he does it right there and
Just
helps
a good player from Benton.
Ty Callahan to the end zone. Panthers going to swinging gate again, and Preston Stone throws it about 2 miles to the opposite corner of the end zone. And, boy, Matt Warwick is an automatic point. I don't know what to say. 3 plays, 44 yards, and 47 seconds. Panthers lead it 28-0 with 5:07 till half. This is Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
Customer service is one of our core values, so we talk about it daily. When we make decisions, policies, procedures, new promotions, we really challenge each other to say, how is this going to impact our customers? How can we make that the best experience possible? We need to strive to meet our customers' needs every single day, and those needs change every single day.
For all of your internet, television, and phone needs, call Fidelity or visit us online today.
Panthers go 44 yards in 3 plays, 47 seconds, and getting it in the end zone. Ty Callahan from 30 yards out on the reception from Nate Beck. And it's Benton 28, Siloam 0 with 5:07 to go in the first half. Matt Warwick kicks it off, and that's Matt Warwick's best kickoff of the year, John, into the end zone for a touchback. All right, new rule. No trivia during play-by-play. I can't talk and process at the same time, but Dio Vanucci can, and Dio with the right answer. It was number 22, played halfback, and Dwight Fight's wishbone,
Absolutely.
John Brewer.
And his son, Bo Brewer, making the interception. That's why I threw that question in there on you. His mom, Jennifer Hamilton Brewer, the homecoming queen that year.
1st and 10, Siloam Springs at their own 20-yard line. And they are going to give it to Canales on the slow developing stretch play to the right. And again, that Panther pursuit dropping Canales for a 4-yard loss. I want to go down to Dio on the sideline real quick. Dio, from our vantage point, this Panther team playing fast and physical tonight.
Well, the defense really is playing physical. But hey, I've got our super fan, Freddie Reinhardt here. Freddie, what do we need to do right now? What did you just say the Panthers need to do?
Let's keep doing this. Keep doing this. We can blow this game wide open.
Blow this game wide open. You guys heard it right here from the super fan, Freddie Reinhardt. We need to blow this game wide open.
Freddie's calling for the mercy rule, and Luke Lampton's going to call for mercy as that Panther defense absolutely relentless, and they drop him for a sack, John, all the way back at the 8.
Yeah, and we talked about the front 6 here tonight, and that was Bobby Wynn's strategy. He's going to use those guys in different blitzes, different stunts, different ways. But you see Edwards, the first guy coming in. You see the middle linebacker coming in, but it's Will White that finishes that off. Good job by number 80.
It seems like there have been more tackles for loss in this first half by the Benton defense than
reminiscent of Parkview
gains for Siloam as the Panther defense coming at Lampton again. He throws, and John, their timing is so badly off. He threw it about 20 yards over J.D. Horn.
Yeah, and we've seen that tonight from this quarterback for Siloam. It's 3 or 4 balls that he's just absolutely launched with no chance of a receiver catching it.
And now Luke Gum, one of the busiest guys on the Siloam roster, comes on to punt again in this first half.
Jim, they had a low snap on the last punt. We'll see if they can execute better this time.
It's another low snap that Gum goes down, picks up, kicks it right to Bo Brewer. Bo's going to let it bounce out of bounds, and they're going to mark it on the Siloam side of the 50 at the 48. So Benton in good field position.
Yeah, and that's due to some really excellent defensive play by the Panthers, giving their offense good field position and a short field to score on.
I'm gonna make a bet with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet if Benton scores before half, we see Matt Warwick kick an extra point, get it to that magic number of 35.
Yeah, it's an automatic point that you got to take. And I would think that Coach Harris probably realizes the score, and that's what we'll see.
Braden Hendricks in at receiver on this first down play, pitch it to Brandon Hunter, and Brandon is going to pick up 12 yards to the 36-yard line, and Benton just getting yards in big chunks on the ground.
Yeah, and again, blocking downfield. Brandon Hunter's a great runner, but what gives him those lanes are the blocks downfield, and you saw two good ones right there, again from Mertens and Trey Pepper, also with a good block downfield.
Two super sophomores in at receiver, Braden Hendricks and Michael Allison, on this first down play for Benton at the Siloam 37. Hunter now in motion to the left, backfield empty. Nate Beck takes, he looks, he's trying to get it to Allison, who makes another incredible diving catch, but again, John, they're going to say he was out of bounds.
This guy's going to have his own highlight reel of balls he caught out of bounds, but Allison is a great receiver, and they know what kind of talent they've got. How about the time from Nate Beck? And he makes a pretty good throw. It's just about a foot too far, too high.
Ben Browning doing a good job in there in place of Jared Hastings on that offensive line. Swing it out to Brandon Hunter. Brandon is gone as he made the first man miss. He takes it to the house for a Benton touchdown. It's 37 yards. Nate Beck to Brandon Hunter, and Benton now leads at 34-0.
Yeah, and you see Callahan square up on a guy here. You also see Trey Pepper with a good block on the corner. Clayton Mertens blocked his guy all the way down to the 5-yard line, Jim. Tremendous job by these receivers blocking tonight.
Matt Warwick on to attempt his first extra point of the first half. Good night.
Yeah.
He kicked that one to the lanes on the track.
Is that the Davis kid with the catch?
Almost, I believe it was.
Nice catch.
Matt Warwick almost kicked it to Tull. Benton kicking Siloam in this first half. It's 35-0. This is Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
Bring home the best in local high school sports with Fidelity Local 6. Catch the players, the rivalries, and the fans that make game days electrifying in your hometown. Watch live broadcasts or on demand with Fido, the whole home DVR entertainment experience. It's the local coverage you want. Fidelity Local 6, the best in local high school sports coverage.
God, did you see that? Did you see that?
Benton Panther football brought to you tonight by Copeland's Restaurant. Always fresh, always New Orleans, always Copeland's. It took Benton 3 plays to cover 48 yards in just 20 seconds. Nate Beck to Brandon Hunter for a 37-yard touchdown. Matt Warwick's extra point, and Benton leads at 35-0. And Matt Warwick again kicks it into the end zone, John.
Yeah, this kid is special, and he's a very, very good kicker for Benton. This is the first time that we've had a guy that can put it in the end zone, and he's done a good job tonight.
Panther football brought to you by Black, Corley, Owens, and Hughes. In 2016, they were voted by Arkansas Business as a top architecture firm in the state of Arkansas. Black, Corley, Owens, and Hughes. 1st and 10, Siloam Springs, and they give it off to Canales, and Braylon Alcorn drops him for another loss.
Yeah, and that's the pressure coming from the backside, and Alcorn did a good job. He knows he's responsible for that lane. Once he sees the flow and the handoff, he just comes in and takes care of business. Credit Dawson Morris there, too, getting in on some action.
Who took Braylon Alcorn and picked a Cliff?
I don't know, but Alcorn and Chandler Cliff. Who picked Cliff tonight?
I believe Chandler may have gone unpicked. 2nd down and 13 as Lampton drops back. He's going to try to get it to J.D. Horn, and it's another interception by that Panther defense, and it's another interception for Bo Brewer.
Yeah, and as we see Bo Brewer there basically playing center field for the Panther defense. They had good coverage on the play. Quarterback launches it, and good job by Brewer turning around, locating the ball, and securing the catch.
And the Panther offense going to take over again right near midfield. The defense, you cannot say enough about their performance in this first half. They have come back from last week's disappointment at Russellville in a bad attitude, and they have unleashed it on Siloam here in the first half as we've got a marker down and a play blown dead. Who took Chandler Cliff?
John Penn did. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. I threw that penalty flag. I knew Chandler was going to have a big night tonight with his zone read because you can't block this guy.
I'm still going to credit Dio, though. I mean, he picks Braylon Alcorn, who hadn't been on the field in 2 weeks, and the guy's been all over the field in this first half. 1st and 15 following the penalty. Beck drops back. He's going to scramble out of the pocket now toward the Siloam sideline. He's going to be taken out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Dio, what is it about your prophetic skills down there to summon on Braylon Alcorn and have him unleash what he has in this first half?
Because I have sat out for a game my senior year due to injury, and I knew what I did when I came back, and I just expected Braylon's that kind of kid. He's got a high motor. He wants to be out here playing. I knew he was going to show up tonight.
Great pick. Great pick. Swing it out to Brandon Hunter. Brandon trying to juke a couple of Siloam Springs defenders, and he is going to be tackled at the 45-yard line. Benton will face a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, and a good job there blocking on the right side by number 73, Ben Browning, doing a good job in there on that O-line for the Panthers, giving Beck the time to make that swing pass out to the right.
And Ben done a great job in place of Jared Hastings in this first half. As the pass is going to be to Ty Callahan, and it's going to be another Benton first down as Callahan's going to be ridden out of bounds at the Siloam 35. It's a 10-yard gain and a Benton first down at the 35.
Yeah, and Nate Beck absolutely threw that one on a rope. Beautiful pass. Callahan had to go up and get it. Good catch there by 22.
Minute 46 until halftime. Benton leads at 35-0 and looking to add to the lead with Brandon Hunter, who's loose in the Siloam Springs secondary. He's got 15 yards and another Benton Panther first down.
Did you see Kyle Mayfield, the guard, number 51, come in there on that block? That was absolutely textbook block there on the linebacker, number 35.
Kyle, a 5'11", 235-pound senior, helping protect Nate Beck on this first down play as Nate's going to try to get it to Ty Callahan near the pylon. It's out of bounds, incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down Benton.
And Ty Callahan getting in on the highlight reel out of bounds catches tonight. Good protection by that offensive line and a good route run by Callahan. Again, just maybe a foot too far, or he would have had that inside the 1-yard line.
Damian Riley in at wide receiver to the right, trips to the left, Beck looking to the left. He's looking to Brandon Hunter, and Brandon Hunter is looking at the end zone. It's another Benton Panther touchdown, 21 yards, Nate Beck to Brandon Hunter.
And you're going to see this on the replay. Brandon Hunter can give that ball to Clayton Mertens for the outstanding blocking. Brandon just ran by the first guy. Great blocking again, all the way on the goal line, Jim. 74, guess who? Brett Tittle.
He's out there leading the way to the end zone again, and Matt Warwick's kicking it through the uprights again. Let's see, I picked Brandon Hunter. You picked Chandler Cliff. Dio picked Braylon Alcorn. I mean, it's been a great pick-to-click night for us.
It is. It's going to be a tough competition, and you know, I picked Trey Pepper in this short passing game. Right now, I think I should get points for how Pepper and the rest of the receivers are blocking out there. I don't know if there's a stat for that, but
now, John, come on. We're not going to give you points for blocks, okay?
Well, it's an important part of the game. I picked the offensive line twice already this year. They did well for me. I scored a lot of points with those guys.
Hey, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. We may have a second half where we go homecoming trivia.
Listen, I've got rules. 4 more homecoming trivia that I promise you I will stump Jim Gardner here tonight for the first time on the air this year. So do not go away if you're listening or watching on Fidelity, because the second half, we promise you, we're going to see some great play by some sophomores, some juniors. We're also going to have a pretty good time up here in the booth.
And it's good to see Terry Benton with a big grin on his face as Benton leads it 42-0. Matt Warwick kicks it into the end zone again.
3 in a row.
3 in a row for Matt. 6 plays, 57 yards, 1 minute, 11 seconds, and another Brandon Hunter touchdown, 21 yards from Nate Beck. We've got 1 minute 20 till halftime. Benton leads it 42-0, and a very beleaguered Siloam Springs offense takes the field again.
Yeah, and you think they just want to get out of here and get this half behind them as Terry Benton walks into the booth. Talked to him before the homecoming festivities. He said it was a really bad day at work today. You could tell he wasn't in a good mood, Jim, but now ear-to-ear smile on the Panther fans' face. Great homecoming night here.
As they gave it to Canales on first down, and Chandler Cliff again in on the tackle. 2nd down and 10, another no gain play for that Siloam Springs offense. Fake it to Canales. Pressure from Braden Harris, and Lampton unloads it, winds up on his back. Pass goes incomplete, and it's 3rd and 10.
Well, they've not been able to connect on the deep pass, and so they try to go to the short pass, but we're not even giving them time to set up the short passing game. And credit the defensive coaches for putting together a game plan and a matchup for that front 6 to spend the evening camped out in their backfield. Good job, Bobby Wynn, Coach McClellan, all of those guys getting our Panthers ready for this game tonight.
Rusty Davis as well. Mark Ballesteri's assistant with the Benton baseball program. Coach Ballesteri will be our halftime guest tonight here at a very happy homecoming as Siloam Springs tried to sneak a shuffle pass in against the Panthers, and Braylon Alcorn was right there to stuff it.
Yeah, and the shovel pass ran into a brick wall there. Blake Edwards also in on that play. This Panther defense just having their way with Siloam Springs here tonight. Speaking of Siloam, Jim, you know where that name comes from, right?
That one's supposed to be part of the trivia tonight.
Well, it was the well where the blind man washed his eyes and could see when Jesus performed the miracle in the Gospel of John. We'll see if Siloam has a miracle here in the second half.
Oh, my word. The Reverend John Penn's son, flashing Bible knowledge.
That got a high five from Terry Benton.
As the horn. Hey, I'm the preacher up here. Benton leads it 42-0 at halftime. There are smiles. There is joy all around on homecoming night at the Palace. We're going to step aside. When we come back, Mark Ballesteri, head coach of the Benton Panther golf and baseball team, will visit with us. Benton leads it 42-0 at halftime. This is Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
Promotional consideration for today's game is brought to you by Throwback Cuts, Fades, Razor Lines, Colored Designs, Straight Razor Shave. The latest styles are what we do. Sweet Tea Cafe. Dine in and ask about our daily specials or call ahead for catering and carryout 501-943-7700. Williams Tire. We take pride in offering name brand tires, wheels, and auto repair service to our customers. Papa John's Pizza. Receive 30% off your order during this broadcast. Use the promo code FIDELITY.
At Midstate Transmission, we're more than just your everyday repair shop. We're an affordable, caring, and customer-focused business. We've been treating our customers like family for over 8 years. We're the experts in transmission repair and offer the best warranty in town. Here at Midstate Transmission and Auto Repair, we do more than just transmissions. We care about our customers and hope everyone leaves completely satisfied. Call us or drop by. We're just off Alcoa Road in Benton. Visit us online and like us on Facebook.
For Brandon Hunter in that first half.
Yeah, Brandon Hunter had a monster first half, as did Ty Callahan. And when you look at the defense, they didn't want to get left out on this homecoming night either. And you see as we go back to the offense here, and another run by Brandon Hunter. Not only is Hunter and Callahan having a good night, but how about those receivers on the edge? You've got Clayton Mertens, you've got Trey Pepper, we've seen Michael Allison with some great effort tonight, Braden Hendricks. All of those guys doing a good job allowing these running backs, when they get in space, to get downfield and get some open lanes to run in. And so that first whole half, Jim, basically a highlight film. Chandler Clift just blowing everything up. Bo Brewer with 2 center field catches for interceptions tonight. Here we see another little swing pass to Hunter. You see the good blocking. Brett Tittle all the way down, blocking his man all the way to the goal line. Just a great effort by the offense overall, being physical, executing the plays. And Jim, other than 1 turnover and a few false start penalties, call it 4, in that first quarter, Benton playing near flawless football tonight.
Looking for Dio Benucci. He's got Brad Harris. Let's go down to the field.
As I like to say, tell us your plans for the second half.
Well, hopefully we continue to do the same thing defensively. Our biggest goal the rest of the game is to keep a 0 on the board defensively. I'm real pleased with the way we came out, intensity level with the defensive side of the football. Last week I didn't think it was there. Greenbrier I didn't think it was there. They came out a little bit focused tonight. You know, that's one thing we really emphasized through the week. So real excited about that. Then offensively, we clicked on the first drive, then we kind of sputtered, but we got to go in the second quarter really good. Real proud of the offense, the way we moved the football around the game.
Good deal. Any plans on juniors, sophomores getting into the game here the second half on offense?
Yeah, you'll see a lot of substitution. We're done with we'll get kickoff return out there, and then you'll see a lot of substitution on offense. Most of our offensive guys, all of our offensive guys are done for the night. So we want to keep them healthy, get ready for Texarkana next week.
Good deal. Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. All right, guys. Hey, and I got a prediction from one of the coaches. I'm not going to name names, but one of the coaches came up to me at halftime, and he said, mark this on your calendar, second half kickoff return for a touchdown. We're only going to get 1. That's all he said, so let's just see if that happens.
Good call, Dio, as we come back into the booth. And Tony Linehan, the only guy not celebrating tonight, he's got 3 calculators out trying to keep track, Jim, of all these stats. He is doing a mule's work in the booth. And what do you got for us?
3 calculators, an abacus, a lot of encouraging pats on the back. Tony having to work overtime during halftime. Here's what he came up with. 370 yards of total offense for Benton in the first half. Siloam with 14. The PDC held Siloam to minus 10 yards rushing in that first half. Luke Lampton, only 4 of 17 passing for 24 yards. Benton picked him off 3 times. Junior Hendricks with 1 pick. Bo Brewer with 2. Here's some gaudy numbers for the Benton offense. Nate Beck, 18 of 21 passing for 241 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Brandon Hunter touched the ball 14 times. He ran it 9. He caught 5 passes for 225 combined yards and 4 touchdowns. Ty Callahan, 7 catches, 79 yards and a touchdown. Trey Pepper, 3 catches for 20. Clayton Mertens, a lot of good blocks, 2 catches for 16 yards. That's right in his 8-yard average. Preston Stone had 3 carries for 11 yards and a touchdown. The scoreboard's lopsided, John, so is the stat sheet.
Yeah, and it really tells the tale of the tape there when you look at those stats. And seniors stepping up, making big plays, big games on a big stage, and that's what you like to see from these offensive leaders like Trey Pepper, Nate Beck, Brandon Hunter. Brett Tittle and company on that O-line doing an outstanding job tonight. And then on defense, again, the seniors stepping up, making big plays. You saw Junior Hendricks with a pick. You see Braden Harris and Braylon Alcorn, Chandler Clift, Mel Hegwood, Dawson Morris, Will White, all these guys doing an outstanding job on homecoming. And Jim, we said before the show that this team kind of needed to make a statement to the fans, but also to themselves. And if you recall, Coach Harris told them, hey, the only thing standing between us and week 14 is ourselves. And tonight, I think the Panthers have proven to themselves and to Panther Nation that we're a really good ball team. We sputtered last week, but you know what? It's not time to circle the wagons. We're going to come out, we'll play solid football. We're taking care of Siloam, and here in about 24 minutes, we're going to start talking about next week, which is a big game on the road.
Statement made. I'm going to tell you that I have watched the last 6 quarters of football here last night and tonight. Benton Junior High with as impressive a win as I've ever seen Benton Junior High have. 37-0 over North Little Rock. The high school comes out tonight 42-0 over Siloam Springs. It's just been a dominant game and a half for Benton football the last 2 nights.
Yeah, and let's give a shout out to that junior high team, because this is a team that is #1 in the conference. They're sitting up top of that Central Arkansas Junior High Conference all by themselves right now, Jim. And this is, hey, we talk about the talented team from last year. This team is every bit as talented and maybe more depth than those 9th graders from last year, and they are absolutely setting it on fire this year. If you've not seen the 9th graders play on Thursday night, you need to get out, catch a few games, and we're real contenders for that conference championship again this year, Jim.
Yeah, we announced it last night. We'll reiterate it tonight. Tuesday, November 1st, Benton and Bryant will play to end the junior high season, and we're going to do a full-scale broadcast, Fidelity and Fox Sports Arkansas, for the Salt Cup between Benton and Bryant to end the junior high season as Siloam Springs kicks off. And who called the touchdown? Who called the touchdown? There's a touchdown for Benton on the kickoff return. Is that Preston Stone?
Preston, I don't believe what I just saw.
That is unbelievable. Preston Stone untouched.
Well, Rusty Davis and Mike McClellan are down there chest bumping like they just took their helmets off, and I'm wondering if one of those guys called it.
Well, Dio Vanucci, bring us up to date on that, because you predicted it. It happened.
Yeah, I didn't listen. I wasn't going to sell him out if it didn't happen, but that Coach McClellan walked up to me and he said, "Mark your calendars. Touchdown, opening kickoff, second half." And he was dead right. And how often do you see somebody predict something like that and it come true? That was awesome.
Unbelievable. You could see him saying, "Go, Big Daddy," as Preston Stone ran down the Benton sideline untouched for a second half opening kickoff return. Benton leads it 49-0. This is Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
At Midstate Transmission, we're more than just your everyday repair shop. We're an affordable, caring, and customer-focused business. We've been treating our customers like family for over 8 years. We're the experts in transmission repair and offer the best warranty in town. Here at Midstate Transmission and Auto Repair, we do more than just transmissions. We care about our customers and hope everyone leaves completely satisfied. Call us or drop by. We're just off Alcoa Road in Benton. Visit us online and like us on Facebook.
Benton Panther football brought to you tonight by Smith Caldwell Drugstore, one of Arkansas's largest independently owned and operated pharmacies located in downtown Benton. And if you've noticed, where the old Harvest Foods building used to be across the street from Smith Caldwell Drugstore, that's where Access Control Devices Incorporated is building their new corporate headquarters in downtown Benton. They're a print management software company, and they are going to be headquartered right here in Benton, Arkansas. ACDI, as the kickoff comes down to Cormadorco for Siloam Springs, and he's going to get it back to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, and credit Antonio Fuller and Will Smith with some great plays there on special teams. Another good kick from Warwick, and some good coverage there by this Panther kickoff coverage team.
The homecoming court has taken their seats in the north end zone for the second half. Julia Dick and Abby Penn, the sophomore maids. Anna Grace Davis and Lacey Jumper, the junior maids. Lila Buchanan, Haley Hart, Bree Hunter, Maddie Moritz, and Abby Walker, the senior maids. And the queen, Dio's daughter, Alexia Vanucci, as they give it off to Threlkel on the first play of the second half for Siloam, and he's going to pick up 4 yards.
Jim, tell me when you're ready for your next trivia question.
All right, let's go.
Well, so we talked about Bo Brewer, mom, homecoming queen, all of that. We also have a member of the homecoming court who had a mom who was a homecoming queen and a dad who was a standout football player at Benton. Graduated together the year 1986.
Oh, I'm all over that one. Tommy Jumper. As they give it off to Threlkel again, and he's going to be dropped for a loss by Dawson Morris. Yeah, I can still see number 4 running that wishbone offense.
Absolutely. He was tough as a buck deer. And Tommy and Susan Lynch Jumper. Susan, the homecoming queen in 1986, and their daughter on the court this year, Jim, is?
That would be Lindsay or Lacey.
Well, they look exactly alike.
And their big brother, Jack, one of Mark Ballesteri's seniors last year.
Halftime, yeah, playing ball in Missouri.
As Lampton's pass almost intercepted by DJ Sturgis, and boy, the Panther defense picking up right where they left off in that first half, and it's going to be a 3-and-out for Siloam.
And speaking of Panther defense, corners in college ball, let's give a shout out to Simeon Watson, Maryville College. Far east of here toward Knoxville. Simeon, an all-conference standout corner. I still remember some of those interceptions that Simeon made, those tackles he would make in the flat. Simeon, what a great player he was for the Benton Panthers for 2 years. Played on that undefeated run that we made in 14.
Braden Hendricks fields Luke Gumb's punt, and it's a strong return on the run for Braden up to the 47-yard line. I think back, John, to a year ago tonight, we were at Scott Field in Little Rock, and Simeon Watson with an interception return for a touchdown against the Warriors.
And not just a good player, but a great person, a great teammate. He was a leader. He inspired people around him, and we wish him the very best of luck at Maryville as he pursues his college career, and we'll be watching that with great interest.
Colin Morrow running the Panther offense. First drive here of the second half, and he was going to hand off to Zach Wallace, and the play was blown dead. False start coming up against Benton. So we're going to get to see the Monday night offense, if you will. The JV offense, that JV offense won 34-0 over Lakeside this past Monday night. Colin Morrow is going to be out there to engineer it. Zach Wallace is going to be his back. We see the super sophomores, Michael Allison, Braden Hendricks, split to the left side of the formation. Another dead ball foul. Peyton Paulette, another talented sophomore, splits to the right, along with Landon Pelton, a junior wide receiver. John, you got the lineman?
Yeah, I'm getting them. One of the things, Jim, that you got to think about in this second half is that there's a reason why Hunter and Pepper and Callahan and these guys start, but you also got to look at who we've got on the field with Allison, Hendricks, Paulette, and Zach Wallace.
Zach gets the carry, and Zach is in open territory. He gets a block from Michael Allison. Zach Wallace is gone. Panthers making it look way too easy tonight as Zach Wallace takes it 63 yards for the touchdown, and Benton now leads it 55-0.
And some good blocking there by the offensive line. Josh George, Jesse Barker, Jensen White, Bryson Willis, and James Durling. And a great run by Zach Wallace, showing some speed and some maneuver there.
And Michael Allison blocking downfield to propel Zach on that touchdown run. Matt Warwick is going to drill the extra point. And with 8:16 to go, why is the clock stopped? Benton leads it 56-0. This is Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
We are leaps and bounds ahead of all of our competitors in all of our markets, which sets us apart. What our internet allows you to do is it allows you to grow and expand and continue to do exactly what you want to do and not see any downtime or anything like that with your service. We're constantly, proactively trying to make that service, our services, better for the customer. And it's a tops-down thing. It's from the executive team all the way down to our customer care agents. Everyone really, truly cares about it, which makes Fidelity a unique company to work for.
For all of your internet, television, and phone needs, call Fidelity or visit us online today.
Well, for all the people sitting on the back porch tonight listening to us, John, I mean, we're going to have to go trivia. We're going to have to go Dio Vannucci comedy from the sideline so people don't turn us off because, man, Benton has just absolutely made a mockery of this one, 56-0.
Yeah, it's a runaway train here at the Palace on the Parkway. And you know what's great is that the fans are sticking around. They're enjoying this. And it's such a beautiful night. We got some cool fall weather in the air. And hey, who used to say it's a great day to be a Benton Panther?
Boy, how right he was. As Matt Warwick kicks it off, that would have been one Dwight fight. As the kick comes down, Siloam Springs, very tentative kick return that time by Dalton Ferguson.
Antonio Fuller again on the tackle, making a case for some playing time here on special teams.
One play, 63-yard drive. Zach Wallace counting for all of it on the touchdown run. Took 52 seconds because of the running clock here as the mercy rule is in effect, and our wonderful producer, director Matt Johnson lets us know there's a drone overhead looking down at homecoming.
Flying object of sorts. As they get a shot of it there, the Fidelity Sky Cam.
Brandon Powell in at noseman for the Panthers on this possession. Seth Mannion at end. John Winston at end as well. They give it off to Canales in one of the best runs of the night for Siloam Springs. It's a 5-yard gain, and Blake Smith on the tackle, and Canales is injured.
Yeah, and we've got a player down here, and you can kind of feel it in the air, Jim. These sophomores and juniors coming into the game, and they are ready to play and fired up. We just hope that this young man is okay.
Well, let's go down to Dio on the sideline real quick. Dio?
John, was that a Phil Collins reference in the air tonight?
Well, maybe.
Was that intentional?
I just hope that drone doesn't get shot down by somebody with a shotgun.
Where is this drone that you're talking of? I'm down here, and I can't see. Is it directly above me? Or
Matt? Two little white lights, our producer Matt Johnson is telling us, somewhere up in the sky. They got a shot of it with one of the Fidelity cameras.
Well, that to me sounds like a UFO. So you've heard it here first, folks. We have a UFO sighting at the Palace on the Parkway.
Hey, it's homecoming.
It's homecoming.
I mean, people have come in from Florida. They've come in from all over the United States. They must have come in from Mars as well.
Yeah, and as we see the Siloam player getting up, he looks to be okay. He's going to limp off with a little bit of help here. Hopefully that's nothing serious for number 33. We wish him the very best of luck as Siloam rebuilds this football program from playing in probably the toughest conference, the toughest schedule of any 6A team, maybe any team in the state, Jim, over the last 4 years, averaging 3 wins per season. Last conference championship, 1987, only 5 winning seasons in the century. And did you know, have these teams ever met, Jim? I don't believe they have.
First time.
Yeah.
You know, that game with Russellville last week, it was the 48th time Benton and Russellville had played, longtime rivals of old. But this is the first time for Benton and Siloam in football.
For the 4th time this season, Jim, we play a team that is either an unfamiliar opponent or a normal opponent that we've seen, but with a new offense, new coaching staff, new defense. Wow, good play there by the Panther defense.
2nd down and 5 run for Dalton Ferguson, and he is going to be tackled by Zach Parker, among others, and it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, John Winston coming through and Zach Parker crashing down. Bryson Krebs coming in. We saw an earpiece go flying. These guys are not letting up on their intensity, and you're seeing these backups for Benton absolutely coming out on a mission.
Siloam Springs without a lot of urgency on this drive, John. They clearly a defeated team right now in their body language, and they're going to go 3rd and 5, 2 receivers to the left. Looking that way to the left is Lampton. He's pressured by John Winston. Gets the pass just over Blake Smith, the safety, and it falls incomplete as it bounced off the shoulder pad of the intended receiver, Montana Burke.
Yeah, it's great pursuit there by John Winston, number 47, coverage downfield. Siloam looks like they're going to punt the ball here. Jim, we've got a homecoming maid who had a brother, played for Benton, wore number 4, and another brother who played for Bryant, who wore number 2. They met on the field in the only Salt Bowl ever played at War Memorial Stadium to end in a tie. Can you name that 2016 homecoming maid?
Bree Hunter as Braden Hendricks fields the punt and returns it to the 39-yard line. Man, I've got my homecoming maid trivia down.
I mean, you are 3 for 3 tonight, and I don't know, Dio, should we give Jim some points for the trivia? I mean, this is like Stump the Schwab, and he is absolutely schooling us here tonight.
Absolutely not. I had that one guessed, but he had Brandon Hunter in the pick to click. There's no bonus points when you have Brandon Hunter.
I think if you get Brandon Hunter as a pick to click, you should start off like you should spot the other contestants' points. It's not fair.
1st and 10 Panthers at the 39-yard line. Morrow's going to swing it out to Peyton Paulette. He's waiting for his blockers to develop out there on the edge, and it's a 9-yard gain. And, John, it's been taking candy from a baby tonight on the edge for Benton because of the blocking of the skill players.
Yeah, and let's talk about Landon Pelton, number 84, the junior out there blocking, getting some playing time here tonight. Also, number 3, Antonio Fuller in the backfield now for the Panthers. So getting to see some of these future Panthers, Jim, that we'll see a lot more of next year.
Snap high to Morrow. He goes up to get it. Passes to Braden Hendricks, who carries over midfield to the Siloam 49, and a Benton first down. Clock running, 4:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. Benton leads at 56-0.
What a headsy play there by Colin Morrow, pulling that ball down, showing he is a basketball player. Gets it to Hendricks. Paulette gets in front, gets him a block. Hendricks knows right where he needs to get that first down. Good play there by Braden Hendricks.
Panthers hotter than a red-hot chili pepper here tonight as the snap back to Morrow and a play blown dead and a false start coming up against Benton. Benton Panther football brought to you tonight by Benton Eye Care and Dr. Brian Armstrong. They help you see eye to eye with your doctor. Benton Eye Care.
Jim, you're just trying to time me for that Siloam reference earlier.
You know, I feel bad. I was not thinking the Gospel of John. 1st and 15 following the penalty. Here's Zach Wallace trying to get to the edge, and Zach Wallace breaks a couple arm tackles, makes a man miss, and dances down the Siloam sideline to the 34-yard line. It's a first down run for Zach Wallace.
Well, let's go back and talk about this offensive line. Josh George, Jesse Barker, and Jensen White, Bryson Willis, James Durling, blocking out on the edge. Paulette, number 2, number 84, Landon Pelton. Great run there by Wallace. A lot of patience by Morrow on that little read play. And we're going to get a flag.
Siloam jumps offside on 1st down and 10. It's going to be a 5-yard advancement of the football. You know, John, after last week's disappointment, you really needed a get-well win.
Yeah,
and this has been it in every facet of the ball game. Special teams, offense, defense.
1st down, 5.
It's been sloppy at a few places in the 1st quarter, but other than that, everybody playing well here tonight for Benton.
Just what the doctor ordered for Brad Harris's bunch tonight as Colin Morrow passes to Peyton Paulette, and Peyton is going to be in the red zone down to the 17-yard line. and it doesn't matter who's back there engineering the offense, it's clicking. But there is a flag at the 30-yard line that's going to bring this one back.
That's going to be a hold on Benton. Jim, you talk about the roster for Benton. There's a young lady on this homecoming court who has a first cousin who was on the 2015 Benton Panther roster as a football player, and he's on the 2016 Arkansas Razorback football roster as a football player. Can you name that maid?
That would be the daughter of Judd and Misty, Haley Hart.
He's 4 for 4, folks.
Give off to Zach Wallace on 1st and 15, and Zach's going to get back the penalty yardage almost. They're going to mark him at the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 13.
And Jim Gardner with a Clayton Mertens-esque performance in the booth tonight, blocking everything I can throw at him. Look at the push from that offensive line. Just a great job by that front five, bulldozing their way.
Now, when you start dropping Sheridan Yellow Jacket trivia on me to get the homecoming Queen's dad in, that may be where I lose my luster a little bit. 2nd down and 13. Give it to Braden Hendricks on the speed sweep. He's coming to the near side, lowers his shoulder, and gets a punishing 6 yards down to the 32.
Well, speaking of Razorback rosters, there is a member of the homecoming court this year whose dad played at a rival 6A West school, did not play at Benton, but he too was listed on a Razorback roster. Can you name that homecoming court member?
Would that be our sideline guy?
It would be.
Dio Vanucci.
And I'm out of trivia. Jim Gardner, 5 for 5 with the sweep.
3rd down and 7, Panthers at the Siloam 31. Fake it to Zach Wallace. Morrow rolling out. Going to throw against his body across the middle of the field. It falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to Caleb Munns.
Not sure that he wasn't interfered with there, but you can't blame the officials for not throwing that flag. Dio, could you tell if the defender got there a little bit early?
You know, I couldn't. It was kind of these linemen that are out there right now are some big boys.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's a big group. The future of Benton offense looks really bright with these guys. I mean, these are just sophomores, my Lord. I can't wait to see them when they're seniors. So I couldn't really see it, to be honest with you, but I agree with you. If I'm the ref, I'm going to probably let that slide.
Yeah. All right, we got to go to a break as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Benton leads at 56-0. This is Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
At Midstate Transmission, we're more than just your everyday repair shop. We're an affordable, caring, and customer-focused business. We've been treating our customers like family for over 8 years. We're the experts in transmission repair and offer the best warranty in town. Here at Midstate Transmission and Auto Repair, we do more than just transmissions. We care about our customers and hope everyone leaves completely satisfied. Call us or drop by. We're just off Alcoa Road in Benton. Visit us online and like us on Facebook.
We are leaps and bounds ahead of all of our competitors in all of our markets, which sets us apart. What our internet allows you to do is it allows you to grow and expand and continue to do exactly what you want to do and not see any downtime or anything like that with your service. We're constantly proactively trying to make that service, our services, better for the customer. And it's a tops down thing. It's from the executive team all the way down to our customer care agents. Everyone really truly cares about it, which makes Fidelity a unique company to work for.
For all of your internet, television, and phone needs, call Fidelity or visit us online today.
Benton Panther football brought to you tonight by State Senator Jeremy Hutchinson, by CDI Contractors, they build communities, and by Simmons Bank, beyond the bank. Panthers with a 4th down and 7 at the Siloam 31, clock running in a mercy rule game here as the pitch is going to be out to Zach Wallace, trying to get 1st down yardage. It's going to be close, John. I think he's got it. Yeah, down to the Siloam 23. Let's go down to the sideline. Dio Vanucci down there, and I believe he's got a former Panther with him.
Yeah, guys, I'm down here with Drew Harris, Coach Harris's son. Drew, you're playing for Ouachita now, and I know this is kind of a come-out season for you. Tell us how it's going so far.
It's been going good. You know, I've been getting some touches, a lot more than I did last year, helping out the offense a little bit. But it's been fun. We're doing pretty good, 3-1 right now. Got a big game tomorrow night against Harding, so looking forward to that.
What position they got you in? Are you a slot receiver?
I'm playing a lot of outside receiver, but they're moving me around now. One of our better wide receivers got hurt towards ACL this past week, so head coach kind of letting me know that I'm the guy now, and they're moving me around a lot, putting me in the slot. You know, I'm doing a lot of stuff now.
So I'm assuming since you're here, tomorrow's game is a home game, right? It's an away game, okay. Oh, it's at Harding. What time is it at?
It's at 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
All right, well, guys, for those of y'all listening, we're sitting here interviewing and Benton scoring a touchdown. Hey, fans, you can come out and watch Drew Harris, former Panther, play tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at Harding and go cheer on the Washita Tigers. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it.
Hey, wait just a second.
I knew
I'm sorry.
Wait just 1 second.
I knew it was coming.
I didn't even think about it.
Now, I'm going to go give Drew a big hug here in just a minute. I'm going to give him a high five. I'm going to tell him how much I love and appreciate him.
Yes.
And then I'm going to tell him I hope they get beat tomorrow night because not all of us are OBU fans. As Matt Warwick boots through the extra point following the Zach Wallace touchdown run.
That was a highlight film run too there, Jim.
Yeah.
Wow. Zach Wallace. And, you bring in the backups, and there's no falling off here. These guys can play, and as you look at the depth of this Benton Panther team, what we've got coming up, what we've got to fall back on this year, players get tired, players get injured. This is a deep team all the way down into the junior high program. What a tremendous Benton Panther program that's been built here over the last half decade.
That was a 9-play, 72-yard drive. Took 6 minutes, 27 seconds off the clock with the running clock, and Zach Wallace scoring from 18 yards out. A very Drew Harris-like run for Zach Wallace to the end zone. John, I had the wonderful privilege today to speak to the team at their pregame meal. Brad Harris invited me to do that, and Freddie Reinhardt and I gave him a little speech. Zach Wallace is so impressive physically when you look at him. His maturity and the way that he is growing up, and I'm telling you, he's just absolutely going to be a phenomenal player for these Benton Panthers the next 2.5 years.
Yeah, and he's a great student as well. And on top of that, he has a Brandon Hunter type attitude about practice and about pleasing his coaches and about doing the right thing, as we see another good kickoff coverage there from the Panthers. And there's just really not anything about Zach Wallace that you don't like. He's just a great kid, great player, great athlete, and he's going to be a tremendous player for this program over the next 2 years.
Getting to see some sophomores, some youngins in there on this possession for the Benton defense. Robert Langford is out there.
BA.
Dylan Ferguson out there. Ty Nethery is going to be a defensive end. Tristan Hutchinson, one of the corners in this
I got
Benton
to call
defense.
9th grade football with all of that cast of characters last year, Jim, and as we see number 46 coming in, Brock Morris, and this sophomore group is just loaded with talent, and the good thing about it is Coach Shaw, he graduated most of them to senior high school off of that freshman team last year that had such a great season.
How about these numbers? Zach Wallace, 6 carries, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's doing his best Brandon Hunter imitation here in the second half. As Siloam, again, content to let that clock run, down 63-0. They sure made a long drive down here and a long drive home for those guys. As Siloam's going to give it off to Dalton Ferguson, their running back, and he is going to be near a first down as he's tackled by Blake Smith. Also a senior, Barrett Warhurst, in on that tackle.
Well, and we've seen Siloam, they're 1-4 this year, and they lost to Rogers 45-9. They lost to Harrison, the Golden Goblins, 39-19. And Van Buren beat them 25-18. So this is by far the worst loss that's been handed to Siloam Springs this year, Jim. And they've actually got a conference win under their belt in the new 6A West. So this is an impressive statement made here by Benton tonight.
As they give it off to Ferguson again, he's going to be over the 45, has first down yardage. Bryson Krebs and Brock Morris combine on the stop.
Yeah, and doing a good job there, the inside linebackers. And we see some more linebackers check in. Brandon Powell comes into the game, and Seth Mannion checks in on the defensive line.
First, I'm sorry, John.
No, I was just going to say we also see, I believe that's Dawson Fryer check in, the senior defensive back, over on the near side.
Benton emptying the bench out tonight. Brad Harris getting them all in as they give it to their tailback again. That's Dalton Ferguson. And there were a whole host of Panthers to meet him at the 45.
Yeah, and one of them met him with some bad intentions. We'll see if we can sort that out on the replay here as they run the zone read. Yeah, I thought that's who I thought it was. Brock Morris with the form tackle, number 52, Brandon Powell in there. He's another one of those players, Jim, that's going to be a really good player for the Panthers.
That OBU Harding game tomorrow, John, at First Security Stadium in Searcy. And First Security Bank, one of our proud sponsors of Benton Panther football. First Security Bank, they're only in Arkansas. The second down pass from Springdale's Landon Ellis, who has replaced Luke Lampton at quarterback, goes incomplete, and it'll be third down now and 10 for Siloam Springs.
Yeah, and you see Brandon Powell with pressure there, and also number 43, Jim. Here's another name from last year, Garrett Eason, with some pressure. And you start thinking about this team going forward, and it's going to be some tough competition in the offseason. We've got a lot of quality players coming up in this Panther demolition crew.
Third down, Ellis going to throw deep, and it's going to be beyond the outstretched diving attempt of Siloam Springs wide receiver Tyler Bland.
Barrett Warhurst with the coverage that time. Defensive back, the junior, with good coverage. As we see number 8 check in. He's going to be back with number 15, Blake Smith. So it'll be Smith and Braden Hendricks to field the punt. That's a pretty good backfield, Jim.
You know, thinking about it, John, as the scoreboard sits right now, and you go back to last night, it's Benton 100, opponent 0. Between the freshman game last night and the varsity game tonight, as the punt, Braden Hendricks is going to go back, pick it up at the 6-yard line. He's trying to get to the edge. There comes a big block. Braden Hendricks gets back up. A penalty marker has been thrown, and now Hendricks is going to be out of bounds at the 7-yard line.
Cameron Ross.
But Cameron Ross,
sophomore linebacker,
with a big hit, and we've got a Benton Panther slow to get up on the sideline. That's Braden Hendricks, John.
Yeah, you really don't want to see that. He's a tough kid, though. Looks like maybe arm or shoulder. As we look here, I think they're going to call us for a hold that really was out of the play, but a pancake block, just ear hole from number 12, and he hit him so hard that he hit him into Braden Hendricks, who fell at the goal line, but had the head to get up and get out of bounds. It looked like he fell on his shoulder there, Jim, so hopefully maybe just a stinger or a sprain. He's one of those sophomores that we've come to kind of depend on in varsity play.
It's been a very physical game.
It has.
For a lopsided score tonight. And a lot of those hard hits handed out by the Panthers is Benton now working out of the shadow of their own end zone. I believe, was that Antonio Fuller on the carry? It was. And he loses a yard back to the 2.
Yeah, this is where you'd like to see that offensive line get the push that we've seen them get tonight. They got Krebs in the backfield. He was a running back in junior high. He's a big boy. He's got a lot of power when he gets it going. And we'll see if they can give themselves some room to punt here.
Second down and 12 for Benton. Morrow in the shotgun, and now Siloam Springs is going to jump off sides.
Yeah, we're going to get 5 yards and get out of the shadow of the goal post, literally the cheap and easy way here.
Update you on some scores from around the county. Glen Rose leads Jessieville 35-0. Ashdown leads Bauxite tonight 35-3. And Harmony Grove is leading Bismarck 28-0. All those games halftime scores. We've got 4:08 to go in this one as Benton faces a 2nd and 7, ball at the Siloam, or at the Benton 6-yard line. And the snap clock down to 10 as Colin Morrow gives some instructions to his lineman, resets, moves Krebs in motion, gives it to Fuller, and Fuller is going to carry up to the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Fuller with a good hard run in between the tackles, good blocking up front, picks up a few yards. Jim, probably the most interesting game in the 6A West tonight is the matchup between Greenwood playing at El Dorado.
You want to score?
Yeah. What do you got for me?
35-14 Greenwood at half.
Okay.
3rd down and 3 for the Panthers at their own 10. Morrow's going to roll out. He's going to pitch it now to Antonio Fuller, and Fuller is going to power his way to the 15. That was just a determined run for Antonio for the 1st down.
It was, and he had a little bit of help. There were a lot of white jerseys down there. Peyton Paulette with a block, and also number 81. That's John Miller, one of the sophomore wide receivers out there, doing some blocking on the outside, and good hard run. That's a 1st down for Benton.
1st down Panthers. Other scores in the conference, Lake Hamilton leads Texarkana 7-3 at halftime. We'll go to Texarkana next Friday. Russellville leads Sheridan 28-0 in the 4th quarter as Fuller gets another carry to the 19-yard line where he's tackled by Chase Curdy.
And we see Dio Vanucci standing all alone at the 25-yard line down there, and he waves to the crowd. The proud dad of the homecoming queen. He's got that wave down, Jim.
You know, I got to sit here and watch you guys in HD tonight on Matt Johnson's video feed. And, yeah, Dio was grinning ear to ear walking his daughter down the 50-yard line.
Dio, what was that like for you tonight?
Well, it was exciting for my daughter's sake. You know, homecoming's not really about me; it's about her. I'm just honored that she's my kid. So that's all I could say.
Well, and you were the subject of one of our homecoming trivia questions that Jim Gardner swatted out of the park. I was up here pitching him softballs, and he was hitting them.
I appreciate you just including me in the fun.
Yeah.
Too bad I couldn't try to answer any of them. I don't think I'd have gotten but a couple of them, but Jim is the master of various information, details on stuff that, you know, first off, I'm a little flustered because I feel bad for promoting Ouachita in the Harding game tomorrow. Well, and it completely slipped my mind that Jim, you were a super huge Harding fan. You're the Freddie Reinhardt of Harding, right?
That would be true. And in fact, tomorrow I will be sitting with Brad Harris up at First Security Stadium. He'll be in purple. I'll be in black. We'll both be cheering for Drew, but for opposite teams. So apology accepted, Dio. No problem at all. As the clock is winding down. Go ahead.
My question to you is, what's the prognostication for tomorrow's game? I mean, is it supposed to be a good game, a blowout? Who's supposed to win?
Well, let me tell you, the last 3 years, Harding and Ouachita, that game has been decided in the last minute. The last 3 years, it has absolutely been the most incredible college football game. Rex Nelson, the voice of Ouachita Baptist, and he'll be on the Scoreboard show following our broadcast on 690 AM and 93.7 FM. You know what he calls this game? The battle for the old wooden collection plate. The two church private schools in Arkansas battling on the football field. He wants to get a trophy made, an old offering plate from church, and let the winner of the Harding OBU game take that home every year. But
very appropriate.
Tell you, been very competitive games. I think the edge is with Harding this year. They're a very senior-laden team, and as Drew said, OBU's leading receiver going to be out tomorrow. But that gives Drew Harris a chance to make a name for himself tomorrow in Searcy. As J.D. Horn fields Braden Harris's punt, looked like a block in the back. They don't call it. Horn trying to get yardage into Panther territory. He's going to step out of bounds at the 31, and the clock is just ticking away on this one.
Yeah, and you talk about making a name for yourself. Let's talk about Chandler Cliff. A rocket snap, perfect, right in the face mask of the punter that time. And then he gets downfield, and he is the first man downfield, forcing the runner toward the sideline to set up the Gunners. Great effort there by Cliff.
The clock has hit 0. And that's where Siloam Springs' score is at 0. The Panthers put up 63 points tonight, and Benton wins it over Siloam Springs 63-0. We are going to take a break. We'll come back with the post-game stats, sponsored by State Senator Jeremy Hutchinson, and the play of the game, sponsored by Williams Tire and Service. This is Benton Panther football on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6.
Family-owned, customer-friendly is more than just a slogan. It's a better way to buy a car and the right way to do business. Come see us and discover the difference at Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at the Alcoa exit. If you haven't been to Everett Buick GMC, we'd like to invite you to come see us and experience what family-owned, customer-friendly really means. There is a difference. Everett Buick GMC, I-30 at the Alcoa exit.
Customer service is one of our core values, so we talk about it daily. When we make decisions, policies, procedures, new promotions, we really challenge each other to say, how is this going to impact our customers? How can we make that the best experience possible? We need to strive to meet our customers' needs every single day, and those needs change every single day.
For all of your internet, television, and phone needs, call Fidelity or visit us online today.
Back at a happy Palace on the Parkway, where Benton wins it tonight on homecoming 63-0. Alexia Vanucci crowned the 2016-17 homecoming queen of Benton High School. And boy, the Panthers with a statement win tonight, John, on the heels of a disappointing loss at Russellville. Yeah. It was a get-well game in a big way for the Panthers.
Yeah, it really was. And this is one of those confidence builders. And as far as we know, no injuries. Braylon Alcorn is back. Nate Beck looked great throwing the ball, had a lot of velocity on his throws. And we get ready to head to Texarkana for another big road game in the 6A West. And we need to go down there and take care of business next week.
Let's go down to the field. Dio Vanucci has Coach Brad Harris.
Yeah, guys, I'm here with the happy Coach Harris. After last week's disappointing loss, it's great to come back in a game like this. Really a statement game coming out. Conference win 63-0. The next week we go to Texarkana.
Right.
Tell us about your plans for this coming week.
Well, the first thing is I'm extremely proud of the way the guys responded. Tough loss last week, and I told them all week, when you get knocked down, you got to get back up at some point in life, and this week I thought we responded real well through practice, and I think that showed tonight offensively and defensively. We kind of got our intensity back that we was playing with early on, and real excited about that. Now, we know that Texarkana is going to be a totally different animal now. We got a lot of speed, a lot of athletes on the field. We're going to have to play really good team football, but I thought we did a great job of being the best team on the field tonight, not necessarily having the best players, but we played great together.
Highlight some of your players tonight, because you had so many that had a phenomenal game. Even some sophomores stepped up big. Just name a couple of names, some players that stood out to you with what they did.
Well, I thought on the edge tonight, Brandon had a great night again tonight, but Callahan caught the ball really well and did some great things for us in space. That's 2 weeks in a row. We're going to have him to continue to play well on the edge. I thought Clayton Martins had a really good night for us, blocking wise, and then he had a couple big catches, and he didn't try to do too much with it. He just caught the football and he got north with it, and that's what we talked to him about a lot. And then defensively, it's hard to tell because we had a lot of guys making a lot of plays, and we don't really have one guy on defense that dominates the tackle chart. It's spread evenly because of the scheme that we're in. So I was real proud of the effort defensively tonight. And then the second half, Zach Wallace, that guy, he's going to be special. We're trying to break him in as a sophomore, but I think we're going to have to start throwing him in there even more, But it's hard to take Brandon out of the ball game. We've got to figure out a way to get both of them in the game at some time, and that's probably going to happen next week.
Good deal. Well, Coach, good luck in your preps this week. We'll see you next week in Texarkana. All right, guys, back to you.
Very good, Dio. Thank you so much. And, again, congratulations to you and your family on a very special night to you guys with your daughter Alexia being crowned homecoming queen. John, as we go to the post-game stats sponsored by State Senator Jeremy Hutchinson, Benton finishes with 517 yards of total offense. Siloam Springs with 32.
Yeah, and I love what Brad Harris said there about the team. Football is the ultimate team sport. When you look out there, Jim, you've got an O-line executing. You've got receivers who are outstanding at blocking. You've got receivers who are outstanding at catching. You got guys in the backfield that can run. You got guys that can block. On defense, everybody's swarming to the ball. Everybody's doing their job. And then you've got your standouts on special teams. Matt Warwick with a good game tonight. It's a total team effort when you lose on the road to Russellville. But it's a total team effort when you win at home like this over Siloam Springs. And so this is a close-knit group, and they've got a lot of talent, and I am excited about the rest of this season.
Big standouts tonight statistically for the Panthers. Nate Beck, 18 of 21 passing, 241 yards, 4 touchdowns. Brandon Hunter, 9 carries, 105 yards and a touchdown, 5 catches for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. Zach Wallace, as Brad Harris mentioned, 6 carries, 117 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and just a big night for all of the guys that you expect to step up and play big at home for homecoming. They did that tonight, and we saw some other guys get in that maybe had their best game of the year, Jim, as far as what their role on this team is. You just felt like it all came together top to bottom tonight.
And as you talk about the Williams Tire and Service play of the game tonight, John, it came very early in the ball game, but it was a Brandon Hunter play.
Yeah, just a tremendous play here. Good little pitch, good blocking on the outside, but one guy got loose. Hunter made him miss. He didn't go out of bounds. He got up, and it was just a great effort by Hunter, and you see from that run just what a special player he really is for this Benton Panther team.
Man, what a win. You know, I kind of feel like I do when Mandy makes a really outstanding dinner.
Yeah.
And we've always had this sort of funny little quip in our house. When she makes something that's just off the charts, I will say to her, you know, that meal was so good, it kind of makes me want to slap my mama.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how this win has felt tonight. After feeling slapped down last week at Russellville by the turnovers and by the misfortune, to come back tonight and play the way they played, John, it was the perfect medicine for a team that was really licking their wounds after last week's loss at Russellville.
Yeah, and you can tell there's still a lot of people here at the stadium all gathered down around on the track, and it's just a good atmosphere, Jim. You just really don't feel like you want to go home yet.
Well, we can stay up here and keep talking if you want.
I'm sure Matt Johnson will have something to say about that.
Matt's ready to go to the house. We'll go to the house, too. We got to go to Texarkana next Friday. And we'll have the broadcast for you. Pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Arkansas and Fidelity Local 6. We want you to stay tuned on Fox Sports Arkansas for the Arkansas High School Scoreboard Show with Rex Nelson and Richard Atkinson beginning at 10 o'clock. For John Penn and Dio Vanucci, who got to walk their daughters tonight in homecoming. For Tony Linehan of the Saline Cougar on stats. Matt Johnson produced and directed our broadcast. Philip Seaton back at Fox Sports Arkansas. Appreciate him so much. Will Burrow, Tasha Hester, and Tyler Walker did a great job on the cameras. Barrett Pfeiffer on replay. Mason Woolbright, the MC of homecoming, handled graphics tonight. Our appreciation to Scott Nethery, the Benton Athletic Director, for his hospitality, and the backbone of our broadcast, the #1 fan of the Benton Panthers, Freddie Reinhardt. This is Jim Gardner. Thanks for joining us tonight. Benton wins it 63-0 over Siloam Springs. It's a great day to be a Benton Panther. Good night.
Promotional consideration for today's game is brought to you by Throwback Cuts, Fades, Razor Lines, Colored Designs, Straight Razor Shave. The latest styles are what we do. Sweet Tea Cafe. Dine in and ask about our daily specials or call ahead for catering and carryout. 501-943-7700. Williams Tire. We take pride in offering name brand tires, wheels, and auto repair service to our customers. Papa John's Pizza. Receive 30% off your order during this broadcast. Use the promo code FIDELITY.